Go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Advantage in Paradise.
Paradise.
Take two. Could we get a take two?
All right.
All right, and
wind it all
go.
back. Everyone, back to one. All right. Welcome everybody to Advantage in Paradise. Thank you for stopping by. This episode tonight is pre-recorded due to Timothy not actually being here and is somewhere else in the world enjoying himself. But we will be back next week with our regularly scheduled live performances. You will notice in chat a few of us are here watching with you, so we will be commenting along the way, which is a lot of fun, something we don't normally get to do, or at least I don't normally get to do while we play. So that's really cool. As always, our music is provided by a combination of Soundstripe.com as well as Filmstro.com. And our ambient music is brought to us by Sirenscape. So I'm going to throw it over now to Shannon for some social media shoutouts.
Let's do it. All right. So first, before I forget, we are having a giveaway on our Twitter account, the Paradice Twitter account. When we hit 1.75k followers, we have a dice vault to give away. And I think Sean's going to get it right now. When we reach 2,000 followers, we have volumes 1 and 2 of the quarterly from our newest partner, the Underground Oracle, to give away. So if you haven't checked that, if you haven't checked that out yet, please do head over to Paradise's Twitter account and check that out. Do you have the dice vaults? There's the dice vaults. Look how beautiful that is. So beautiful. Oh, yes. Open it up and show off the insides. Fabulous. Excellent. Thank you, Sean. That dice vault is from Walnut Workshop.
Magnets. It's magnetic.
Magnets. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Fucking magnets. How do they work?
Our friends at Walnut Workshop made that beautiful piece, and that can be going to one of you lucky people. So spread the word. Help us get to 1.75k followers. I can't do math right now. Our other stream partners, we have Talon and Claw, or if you're Sean, Talon and Claw. They are the creator of gorgeous wooden
In Aradun, it's pronounced Talon.
It's the only word that's different.
Yeah, that's what he decided last night on his stream. Anyway, they are the creator of gorgeous wooden tabletop accessories like DM screens, dice vaults, dice, which these puppies gave me double nat 20s last session, which was fantastic. And then I promptly failed my investigation check, but that's fine. They are wonderful. Check them out. They have a Twitch channel. They play a lot of Sea of Thieves. They're fantastic. If you use the code Paradice, Paradice, you get 10% off your order. Our second partner is Arcane Spectacles. They are the creator of beautiful spell trackers and other tabletop accessories like this Sneak Attack Dice Vault. I don't want to go too far because my dice are going to fall out. But yep. Love it so much. They are working on a 10 spell slot vault as well as a spell tracker for Pathfinders. So stay tuned into their Etsy shop and their Twitter feed to get all those updates. And as I mentioned before, we are partnered now with the Underground Oracle Publishing. Cal uses their Prongs of the Black sword in combat. We might get to see a little action of that tonight as he fights some direwolves in the pits. And they are partnering with Shard Tabletop to bring you their materials to your virtual tabletops. So make sure you check that out. And last thing I'm going to say, Ed, we love you for our character art. Alex is working very hard on some new things for our overlay that feature Ed's art, and we can't wait to share it with you. Thanks, everybody. We love you. Let's play some D&D.
Thank you very much, Shannon, for that social media shout out and all those shout outs to our partners. But really, this is a very awesome dice vault. Please head on over, get some folks to follow us, and we'll give that away. It'll be fun. All right. So I think we should get right into it. Question from you, Timber.
No, it was just me wooting.
Oh, silent wooting.
Woo! Woo!
Okay.
I refuse to raise my arms for anyone.
Woo!
Well, let's get right into it.
I've been shot by the police 4 times. Cut that.
Cut. Post. Edit and post. And we're back!
All right. And we're back. All right, folks. So, here we go. Last we met, you were preparing yourselves for the mission into the Blighted Row within the Gap, a criminal district of the city of Oranshire, where Scarlet had been captured by Erdwulf Thatcher in his hideout, the Amber Thistle, earlier this day. In your interrogations of Caleb, the Crimson Court assassin that Wiswick had rescued from the Amber Thistle at the expense of Scarlet being captured, you learned that Erdwulf Thatcher was indeed Scarlet's lost brother, Reese, and that he has gone from being kidnapped by this Highland Syndicate 10 years ago to now running one of its largest regions in an organization known as the Highland Butchers. So much more cruel than the Highland Syndicate that they designed their own name.
Continue, Sean. He'll fix it.
Oh, because Stefan's green
Yep.
screen is all messed up. Because we were joking before, and he let his green screen fall over. But there's plenty of time in the recap.
I need a breeze.
This will be the first recap. That's only 2 minutes long. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so yes, Scarlet has been captured within the Amber Thistle, Erdwulf Thatcher and the Highland Butchers hideout. But while you made your last preparations, Timber watched as a cloaked figure entered the Withering Wick, a small chandler shop within the Outerstead Squall district. As this person entered into the shop, he snuck in through the second floor to then descend and meet the figure at the opportune moment. We've learned that this figure's name is Bogdasha. She wore a dark, shadowy purple tunic bound at the waist, and then black hand wrappings over her hands. Her attire reminiscent of Timber's a little bit. She also had a mechanical leg of Gwyn design. She called Timber by a different name, Kaze, and throughout this conversation also referenced a place known as the Sulk, and something called the Way of the Shadow and the Way of the Dusk. Furthermore, they had discussed a figure known as Yuza, who seemed to have some sort of authority over this place known as the Sulk. But at the same time, there was also some dissent at this place that has been brought up now. After speaking briefly about this and catching up, it was also revealed that Bogdasha was a former student of Timber's. But finally, she spoke with Timber about what she was doing there, an infiltration of the Highland Syndicate in this region. And he asked what she had found out about his wife. She spoke of a research facility run by this organization that was either to the west up the river into the mountain pass or north into the wood line of Teramran, where this branch of the syndicate known as the Butchers brought those they kidnapped. But even more so, had brought Timber's wife, Reyna, likely due to her prowess in magic and mechanical contraptions. She gave to Timber some items that she had not used during her infiltration, and whatever more information she could give him about the Amber Thistle hideout and Erdwulf Thatcher, particularly advising him not to underestimate the figure. After they spoke of all of this, they said their goodbyes with an embrace, and she knelt and sat down by the fire and began an incantation meditation. And suddenly the embers of the fire surrounded her, and she disappeared in smoke and shadow, departing via what they reference as some sort of extraction. Timber returned to the streets after saying goodbye to Gunvald, the chandler, the owner of the shop, and his very lovable mastiff dog, Vorund. He entered the streets and returned to his canine form. and hid to await his comrades who would soon arrive. It was later at this point that the rest of you came to the Outerstead Squall, passing through the eastern gate under the eyes of some of these local brigands who operated as guards. They seemed unconcerned with following you after you entered into the squall. You pressed onward and met with the lovable band of trust fund noble children who invited you out into this more dangerous evening for more drinking. You followed them through the narrow alleyways and eventually into the cliffs on the outskirts of the city, where a rocky path led to the gap. It was here that, after some embarrassment from Arlen, the main trust fund kid, that you made your way in to the Blighted Row, all the while Timber stalking from behind. It was during this time you also discovered that there were more passageways into the Blighted Row, from below on the sides by the riverbank, as well as through some secret entrances that you saw some cutthroats leaving the gap with the aid of Jet, heading towards and following those that the guard at the front gates had turned away for being too drunk, presumably to rob them in the evening dark. But you made your way in shortly after that, and after some discussion, found the fighting pits. Truly unsure of what you were going to do next, you really only having planned to get into the Blighted Row. Cal believed that he might, under the guidance of Arlen, be so successful and present such a performance in the fighting pits that he might get an invitation to a later event that was happening within the Amber Thistle. So we entered into the fighting pit competition, as well as the dwarven companion who had come with as one of the trust fund kids, Tellus. And he was paired against the strongest contender right away, a giant of a man that Cal made quick work of with some choice acrobatic moves that impressed the audience and had them all cheering the name that he had chosen for himself, Castle, as the organizer of the fighting pits. Morris, a forest gnome gentleman, had gained some notice of you. And after the fights, you had asked him about something more dangerous. And he somewhat shyly, meekly told you that there was an event happening later that night that he may be able to get you into, and to meet him a half hour later outside the Amber Thistle on the right entrance. It's at this time that Wiswick collected his reward for betting on Cal, and you abandoned the local rakes who you had come with, and began heading towards the Amber Thistle. All this while, Timber had been stalking you, but also stalking the grounds of the Blighted Row. He had noticed a particular escorted gentleman coming in to the gap from a side entrance, surrounded by 4 heavily armed guards with a fine fur cloak on, who entered into the Amber Thistle. Not before Timber had noticed Airdwolf Thatcher stepping out, bearing the pallid mask that he had put on earlier when talking with Scarlet one last time before his guests had arrived. In that conversation, he pressed her further about what she was doing here. He as well as having some of his people go in to help fix her broken leg. More importantly, he presented to her her blunted knife, something that we have not heard the origin of, but know to be deeply sentimental to Scarlet. In the process of this conversation, he looked to her and broke the dull blade onto the ground, and splintered into several pieces, calling it a broken promise as he put on the pallid mask in front of her and stepped out to join his guests. Eventually, Cal was able to meet up with Morris on the side of the Amber Thistle, and here he was allowed to enter into the Amber Thistle, but only with one other person. In a brief side conversation in Undercommon, Wiswick and Kiran determined that it should be Kiran to join him in there in case something went wrong during the fighting pits. Wiswick decided to go and investigate another area of the Blighted Row he heard of, where there was an enchantress known as Kriya, who operated out of the Needle and Thread warehouse that you had seen earlier. It was at this point, sometime later, that Cal was led into the waiting area of the fighting pit, and then shortly after presented to Erdwulf Thatcher and his guests, where he was instructed to bow to them as he was introduced as Castle from Endurus. The presentation of Cal reached the ears of Scarlet down below, who had just failed to pick the lock of her cage with the shattered remains of her dagger. And in this last moment, Erdwulf Thatcher announced out to the crowd, "Why wait?" and immediately released the first round of 3 in this fighting pit, as Cal watched animal handlers throw a carcass into the sand, and 3 dire wolves leapt out from the shadows to feast on the carcass and fight over it before they turned their eyes to him. He drew his weapon. And that's where we ended last session. So, Cal.
Yeah.
Sorry. The 3 snarling wolves are stepping carefully all around you. You're noticing, give me a quick perception check.
18.
You are noticing every few steps, you're kind of looking around, you hear some sinking of the sand, as you do notice in the middle of the arena floor there is a little notch where sand is pouring down below. Scarlet, down below, you have heard they've announced Cal's name above. You hear the snarling of wolves and the cheering of the crowd. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Yeah, I want to give Cal an idea of where I am. I want to see if he can hear me. So, but before I do anything, you had mentioned earlier that Caleb's hands were chained. Are there chains on the ceiling?
Not in the ceiling. There's actually the chains are not in there. They took him
Okay.
out in the chains, but you
Got
do
it.
see a ring on the wall where the chains were.
Okay.
So like a little iron ring that's off of the bars
Yeah.
where the chains were probably put through and his hands were
Okay.
tied.
How far away is that from me right now?
I mean the cell is not very large. It's probably it's probably I'd say 10 by 10, maybe 15 by 15 is the cell. So you would be 5 or 10 feet away from it at all points.
Okay, cool. So I want to struggle my way over there, and I want to like just pull myself up and like hold on to it, so I don't have to put weight on my broken leg.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to like looking up and knowing that Cal is up there. I start to call his name, but then I stop because I feel like that's going to give away it's going to blow his cover. So instead, I start shouting Reese's name, just as loud as I can at the top of my lungs, just Reese, 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 see if you can hear me.
I'll ask you to give me a quick
vocal cord strength check.
Yeah, I mean it really is like because it's your bruised ribs.
Yeah.
And like
so it'd be
potential
performance?
fracture. break. I'd say I'll give you a choice.
Con save?
You con save actually might be a better way to do it. I'll say con save. That is a better
Okay.
call. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a quick Constitution saving throw.
Can you get the breath past your broken rib?
Excellent.
It's pretty much
30?
what it is.
Dirty
Like if you
20.
ever like had like even just like mildly hurt chest and tried to inhale
Yeah.
to get enough to scream. What'd you get?
Dirty 20. I rolled a 16 and a 17.
All right, you are able to shout out with just enough air in your lungs to shout out Reese's name, Reese. Cal, I'd ask you to give me a perception check.
Would Curon hear this?
Ooh, Curon. Actually, what I need you to tell me, Curon, is where are you in the room? Because are you standing at the edge of the pit?
He would be standing pretty close to the edge, watching as his friend fights.
Okay. Then I would say, Curon, you would definitely hear this. Cal, what did you get?
I got a 15, sir.
Cal, I'd say you don't hear the name Reese. You can't articulate the name, but you do hear the brief sound of cries coming from below, someone shouting up. And I would say it sounds like the pained cries of Scarlet to you. But you don't hear the name. It's hard to hear it because you're also concentrating on 3 snarling wolves in front.
Glance at Q, like quickly, just to see if he caught that too.
His eyes would be slightly larger, like, yeah, I heard that.
Okay.
And then I have no time to think about that at the moment.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's the last moment we'll have before the initiative roll for the fighting pit. But before we get into the initiative roll, I want to check back outside with Wiswick and Timber, because you guys would have had some time while Cal was in that waiting room. So Wiswick, the two of them have just entered. You're alone outside in this sort of dirt courtyard outside of the Amber Thistle Longhouse Tavern. You can see to your left, as you turn back, there's the passage back that leads to the 4 warehouses. Timber, you have eyes on Wiswick for sure. Wiswick, you do not see Timber. So what would you two like to do?
I would wait for Wiswick to go in or past like a dark section, or a section that's not like to the warehouses, assuming that's where he's going to go, but cut him off and try to just cut him off.
Wiswick, are you going to try to go directly to the Needle and Thread warehouse?
I think my plan was to go there, but I don't really get the sense that it's like the smartest place to go by myself. So I kind of want to maybe just investigate a little, like go around the general area of the warehouse and see if I hear any guards talking or something like that. Just overhearing people. If there's seen somebody who's like nice enough or drunk enough that like might give me information, maybe ask them a few questions about what goes on in there, stuff like that.
Okay, give me a quick perception or investigation check. Timber, you can give me the same thing, kind of just for the general area.
Nat 20 plus 7.
Oh boy.
11.
Okay. So I'd say, the way the warehouse is, if you're looking directly at it and you're walking towards it from where you were, there's the warehouse itself. It's the same as the it's like a storage warehouse really, and it is somewhat L-shaped, where there is a little bit of a nub coming off of it, where at the end of like kind of where the where it curves in is into the alleyway, and the entrance is in that kind of indentation. So if you look at it as kind of being like this, the entrance is on this side, which is away from the courtyard you're in. So you'd have to get closer to start looking in there. You do notice, kind of similar to what Timber noticed earlier, you notice someone kind of with their arm around a drunk person and kind of leading them towards there. That's the only really person you see outside of it right now. The front does have kind of a wraparound porch on it, that then you do see there's a back entrance on the opposite side of where the front entrance is.
I think I'm just gonna slowly, casually follow the group, like the drunk man, and
This guy.
okay, cool. So I'm gonna casually follow the man who's being carried off, and I'm just gonna kind of wait near where I think they're heading, like whatever entrance they're going to, and see if like they say anything when they enter or something like that, like a code or who knows.
Are you trying to like sneak up and listen?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like I'm being stealthy. I'm being quiet, and I'm trying to stay out of the way. But I'm not like hiding behind something. I'm like walking in a corner, or like like trying to stay out of sight of these specific people. Other people could probably see me just fine.
Okay, so still give me a stealth check then.
Okay. A 2 plus 3. Is there stone nearby?
Yeah. Nope. So I would say you kind of are like heading towards the warehouse, and there's not really anywhere to hide in the street. So as you're heading, you kind of try to dip into the porch, but you notice the man just kind of like looks at you for a moment and stops, and you can see the drunk person kind of like, "Oh." And then he just kind of looks at you for a moment and keeps staring at you for a long moment, and then continues forward towards the front entrance that's inside the little alcove. So he dips around the corner from where you are. Timber, I would say that you're kind of in the detritus in the alley, and you can kind of see Wiswick on the porch across the alley from you, and you watch this guy as he heads towards the front entrance of the warehouse.
Just watch me completely screw up.
Yeah, pretty much just watched this guy stare right into Wiswick's eyes, and Wiswick just kind of like stare right back. The guy just bangs in the door, and then slowly afterwards, someone opens a slot in it, closes it, and opens it up, and he drags the man inside. So, what would you all like to do?
I would like to do something really weird. I'd like to throw my mage hand out in the open, not like open, but like at the alleyway entrance, and just just have it like kind of like linger there, and then clamp down on the dirt, and then just drag back into the alleyway.
Okay.
So like as it's just dragging the dirt into the alleyway. And it's the same shadowy hand that I hope that Wiswick remembers.
Okay, so you're just trying to show
lure
that you're
him.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Wiswick, you would definitely see this. There would be just kind of like just this hand that's made of a cloudy shadow, just and a puff of dirt comes up, and then it drags a line towards the alleyway, towards some of this broken down, abandoned structures that lean up against the warehouses.
Sounds completely terrifying. I think Wiswick would have to do a double take before actually realizing what it is.
It would absolutely take you a moment where you're like, what else is going to happen here? Like, why? There's shadowy hands that are menacing and threatening, and then it would ping to a few memories of him using it, to grab the pallid mask that one time. He used it to touch the doorway in the crypts. Well, you wouldn't have seen that because you were sucked through it before that. But you would definitely be able to remember this.
I pay close attention to Timber's magic, so
definitely.
I feel like
definitely.
Yeah, I definitely. At first, I'm a little like shaked out, but eventually, I just try and casually sneak my way over to the alleyway.
Yeah, easy enough. Timber, you're kind of in this like under area where there's like scaffolding above you, and you're in the like lowest level of it. There's a lot of just garbage and ruin around you, and you notice Wiswick sort of slowly, apprehensive at first, but slowly walking towards you.
when he gets closer, Vizik,
T, are you here? Hello?
hey, Vizik, where's
Oh, hey.
where's everybody? I saw that they went inside. Is Cal fighting? Did the plan work?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it worked. I'm not in there, but, Cal and Kieran got in fine. They wouldn't let me in, though.
I believe that's a good idea. I saw that Thatcher is in there, and he would recognize you. Is that correct?
Probably. Actually, I don't know if he would recognize me, honestly.
Oh,
It's
right.
kind of the 50-50 shot.
You revealed yourself to him, so I mean, you're unsure if he's.
He knows what my voice sounds like.
Yeah, but you dropped your disguise.
No, I dropped my disguise way back. Like when I turned the guy into a salamander. I went inside of a marketplace.
Oh,
and
you're
then
right.
I
You're
dropped
right.
my disguise and went.
You
to
are
that.
correct. You are correct. He would only recognize your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Vizik, was this your plan? Now that you are not there with them.
Well, I could use my magics to sneak in, but I'm afraid that they might have some magical defenses against it now that I've used it already once. My plan was to go to the source of their magical knowledge, which is an enchantress named Kriya, something like that. She's in this this building over here. I think she tends to the drunks, or maybe she, I don't know, does something else. But they keep bringing drunk people in there.
Do you want me to come with you?
Sure, that would be reassuring.
Okay. After this, we should probably find a way to infiltrate that building.
Yeah, it would be nice if we came up with some sort of sign that they could let us know if they were in trouble, but whatever.
Yeah.
How bad could they get?
Well, maybe we can use some sort of, I don't know, like windows, or you have invisibility. Is that correct?
Yes, and I can cast invisibility on a higher, use more magical power to make more people invisible. Perhaps I could send an invisible jet in there and drop off some notes or something.
Ah, but not me. Understood. Either way.
Well, you're protecting me, right?
That is
We're going
correct.
in there.
That is correct. Okay, let me get my disguise up. And I put my cloak on, and I use what concentration I have left to go back into humanoid. And Vizik, I cannot stay like this long, so we have like 30 minutes. I think that's plenty of time.
So yeah, I'll see you have 30 minutes in your humanoid form. Just for everyone's reference, just for the reminder of the lay of the land, you are on that kind of cliff side that then lower down the cliff is the riverside. So you saw a few entrances into the gap itself. You noticed 3. You noticed 2 official ones. In Wiswick, you noticed that one secret one. You also noticed that there is an area down below that has that you, Wiswick, would know the sewers empty out into. And then the Amber Thistle itself does have a second floor. It has the main hall, 2 side rooms, and then a second floor up above. Just for the reference generally, since you're trying to find infiltrations. But for now, you guys are you're attempting to enter into the needle and thread.
Right.
Okay. How do you do that?
Vizik, do you want to go through the front door? Or how dangerous do you think this place is?
Well, I see a lot of drunk people going in. I don't see many coming out. I don't know. That might be a bad sign, or they might be taking them out a secret entrance.
That's what I've seen too. I don't
Let's
know.
I mean, I don't see any other entrances besides the one in the indentation over there. Perhaps we should just scout out a little?
That is you're learning music. Good. Let's do that.
Okay, so you guys want to do an investigation?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm just gonna walk around the building like from a distance and see what I
so
can find.
either both of you could do one investigation
Can
or
I give
one with advantage.
advantage to Vizik?
Sure.
Yeah. I got a 14 plus 7, 21.
Okay, so you kind of walking around, keeping an ear out for and looking about. You notice a few like greasy windows. Like it's very much looks like that kind of like. The best way to describe it is like a post-apocalyptic greenhouse warehouse. So there are a lot of windows, kind of large windows, and you can kind of like rub some dirt off of a window and look inside. And you can see that there are several.
Hoist.
Yeah, you could definitely hoist. Yeah, that's your assistance to the investigation check. You do notice that there is the side entrance in the back, or the back entrance. And you kind of look through the window back there. You notice there are several armed syndicate members in there. You notice probably at least 5 of them. There are people on that are laid out on like blankets or sleeping rolls that you presume are the drunks, and they are taking everything. They are taking any gold in their pockets. They're taking their boots. They're taking anything of value, and just throwing it in a big pile. They're doing everything short of taking their anything that has any potential value. A little copper bead on their shirt. They're taking the shirt off of them, and they're just piling it all up in a corner. You can see the layout is there's this first floor, which is largely an empty warehouse / greenhouse that they're piling all the people into and taking their belongings. And then you see there's a ladder or a staircase that leads up to a second loft area where you can see a lot of lights coming from up there, like green lights, and it looks magical. And you can see there's kind of like a fire that's creating a silhouette where you can see a very hulking shape. Just the silhouette of a large hulking entity that is just moving around and grabbing things. Occasionally you'll see someone walk up there. There's 2 guards outside of that kind of lofted office up there. That kind of, it doesn't have walls. It has like room dividers almost. It's a cubicle kind of. And there are
Open floor plan
office here for the looting of the drugs. And if depending, how long do you want to watch?
I think once I get that much information, I'd probably back off.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so you see them stripping the drunks, and that the magical area, you can easily assume that whoever that entity is, the hulking figure, is the Kriya that you were told about. I'd say in general, thinking about the general timeline here, you guys have, about an hour's worth of doing things before I'm going to be starting Cal's fight. He was waiting there for a little while. So you've spent maybe 10 minutes of time so far, and mostly that was talking. So what would you guys like to do next?
So this doesn't look like an option, or a good option, based on how guarded this is. Do you want to pursue the Empress still?
I mean, maybe if they want us here, we might be able to get past the guards without problem. Maybe we should just ask at the front to see if they'll take us. It's not like they can drag us in there, right?
I'd rather not be associated with the group to better our chances to get... Less association will guarantee us, if they get in trouble, we can bail them out. It's better if we go as
Yeah,
a
I
separate
guess there's
party.
not much. I was hoping we could negotiate with her for some arcane knowledge and the like, but I think she's got everything she needs.
For
Seems
just
like.
a little bit of clarification of those 5 guards, and then there's 2 like straight up guards at the top. Of the 5 people in there, I'd say 4 of them are guards, but also like stripping people. And then there's a guard who's with an individual who they are sorting through the things. So there's kind of like, if you were to think about it in a video game sense, there's these 4 kind of pillars that are holding up the roof and whatnot. And there's piles of things all around. And then there's a table where people are going through it. You see them like ripping with a knife the beads off of the clothes and putting it into a pile and organizing everything. It would be, I'll just say with your passive insight, it would be very difficult to infiltrate this place. There are places to kind of like hide, but you'd have to get in somehow. But it would be very difficult to infiltrate as far as stealthily goes.
We can watch the package when it leaves, but we shouldn't go in there. If you're eyeing the loot, that is.
No. I was more interested in meeting this Kriya person, but if you don't think it's a good idea, we could avoid it.
I do not think it's a good idea, at least right now. We also don't know how dangerous this woman is, or person.
Wiswick and Timber, both give me a perception check.
Oops, it fell off the table.
9.
Dirty 20.
Oh, okay. Timber, I'd say you can. I mean, you guys can hear inside a little bit. Timber, you would hear a clamoring sound. As you look in, you kind of peek in through where Rizwick was looking, and you see one of the drunks is getting like excessively rowdy, and is trying to like get up. Like the guy's less drunk and they didn't knock him out properly, so he's like fighting against them as they're like literally pulling his boots off. You see one of the guards comes up and just pulls out an axe and uses the
Blunt end?
He doesn't use the blunt end. He just right into the guy's skull.
At that moment, I just look away and look at Wiswick and be like, no. We get out of here. He just...
You can see them dragging the body. And kind of as you're talking, you kind of can see like them dragging the body towards the back of the room underneath the loft, where you see them open up a latch and just toss the body down.
It was like, these guys are... They will kill you. Did you see that? They just murdered the drunk for no reason.
That's pretty heavy. Yeah, maybe we should get out of here.
Let's go. Do you need assistance for being quiet?
I wouldn't say it would probably help.
Okay. And I cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay. All right. Where would you like to head?
To a spot over near the Amber Thistle.
Okay.
Just to get a good view of it and to talk with Wiswick about infiltration options.
So you guys are in the back of the Needle and Thread here. So wherever these markings are is the detritus and buildings that are ruined. So you could easily go around and kind of have eyes on it up here.
Okay.
And be safely
Could
hidden.
how far away is that from the Ember Thistle?
I would say that it is about 50 feet away from. Where's my chart? I lost my chart. I'll say safely it's 75 feet away from the Amber Thistle.
So perfectly within mile range is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
I
I will remind you, if you're going for that detect magic, it will get mostly blocked by thick surfaces. But you can always do the perception check that we're working off of.
Can you teleport, Vizek?
I can. I can also make us both invisible, but if they
Can you
have
do
some
both?
sort of arcane ward to defend themselves from invisibility or intruders, it would be best if I can detect that first. I don't know how much. I mean, I don't know if it's even worth it because we can't do anything about it if they have one.
This is true. I think it's still good to know if they have traps, or it might be good if we cannot find. You said you came in through the sewers?
Yeah, there's a secret sewer entrance. There's also a back entrance that Cal went through, and then there's the main entrance that the general public, I guess, or the guards go through.
Am I missing any entrances?
Yeah, let me clarify for you, Wiswick. So actually, just give me a quick insight check with advantage because you've been here before.
Mm-hmm. I'm also a map maker.
True.
And I rolled like garbage. I got a 4 and a 1. So how about that 4?
All right. Well, there's certain things I'm going to give you. There were other things I would have given you. So you understand, if I say just like as you're generally trying to understand everything, I'm just going to remind you of all the ways you moved around here. There were the sewers, which were beneath here. And you really only followed the direct path of those sewers, following Silas. But they clearly empty out into the river in some way and are underneath this entire region. When you got close to the manor itself, you went in through a very shallow grounded entrance that was not sewers. The hallway you and Scarlet went through was just a like cellar entrance that had like small alcoves for storage, but was mainly just a cellar, small side cellar. When you were inside, you would have at the very least known that there was a pit underneath that had some kind of cell in it that you did see people go underneath. So there's clearly more underneath than just that side entrance. And then Cal went in the side entrance. There's the second floor, and then there's the front entrance. So I'll say at the very least with your basic memory, there is more underneath the Amber Thistle than just the entrance you went through.
Yeah, there might be another sewer passage.
Since you came up from there, it's probably either guarded or trapped. Would you say so?
Well, yes, the cellar entrance would definitely have some sort of enhanced security. Because that's where they saw us come in from. But it's still probably less secure than going through the front door, you know?
Or
it might be a better option anyway.
the front door?
No, the cellar entrance. I think it's worth us like sneaking around in the sewers to see what else we can find.
We might need to be invisible in the sewers, which can work out. Let's do that.
Okay, so how would you like to approach the sewers? What way are you going to look? Wiswick, you know of at least one entrance to the sewers, which is the one you got into the row from.
I think I would just probably look around for some sort of entrance that's behind some of the buildings where we are at. Yeah. So maybe we can map out the sewers a little bit in case we have to escape in different directions. So it would probably be wise to spend this time just exploring the sewers a little while, even if it gives us a roundabout way in. But we're generally looking for...
You want to use the rest of this time to look for the sewers entrance. That's best, that's closest. That seems like the best entrance.
That and also just scout the sewers if we find it fast enough.
Yep. So this will be instead of us going through like, hey, we check this 5 feet.
Right.
We're gonna do a few different. We're gonna do a few rolls for this. First, I need stealth rolls because you are
Okay.
sneaking around
That's
a
plus
very
10.
dangerous part of town.
Oh, I got a nat 20.
Are the sewers made of stone?
You're not in the sewers yet. This is for looking for the sewers.
All right. Well, I got a 14 plus a lot.
You guys are feel pretty confident that you're staying out of sight. Now I would like you to give me either both individual investigation rolls, or again, you can give one a advantage.
All him.
And this is going to determine how long it takes you to find an entrance.
23.
Okay, 23. Pretty good.
Oh wait, wait. Wait, hold on. 17 plus 7. I'm an idiot. 24.
24.
24. Okay. So, Wiswick, I'd say there's 2 things you kind of discover as you guys are investigating around. There is the main sewer entrance that you came through. But you know when you went down that there were 2 other passageways in there that you could follow to get deeper into the underground. You also kind of working off of that. So I'll say with that investigation roll, you have 2 options. One is more dangerous, but potentially could lead you more directly to the Amber Thistle, and one is somewhat known, but you may need to find your way to the Amber Thistle. You can attempt to exit the gap and get to the riverside and enter in through what you presume is a sewer entrance down there. Mainly just from like investigating, looking off of the edge, you can see down below there is this little stream of water that comes from the cliffside that seems to be the sewer water exiting into the river. And then you also know that there is the entrance that you came through originally with Scarlet before, and that there is a passageway that leads what you presume is the direction of the river, but you don't know how labyrinthine that is. So you would have a harder time understanding which way to go from there. But at the same time, you know its relation to. It's more familiar, so it's less dangerous. So those are your 2 ways in. You can pick one or the other.
We should probably pick the entrance that is a good exit as well.
Well, I mean, do we scout out these areas? Do we know where they are, or
You know, so the reason the riverside is more dangerous is because you have to get down to the riverside.
okay?
But it's closer to the Amber Thistle. But it's completely unfamiliar once you get inside.
Right.
The other passage is a bit further away from the Amber Thistle, but you've been there before, so you generally know there's one passageway that probably leads towards the Amber Thistle, or at the very least leads towards the river, which could lead towards the Amber Thistle.
I think we should keep the river access as an emergency exit and take the path that we know. It's probably a little safer, and we're less likely to get caught right off the bat. Let me ask you a quick question, Timber.
Yes.
You know, just a little hypothetical. Say we come into some trouble down there. We're gonna kill them, right? We're gonna get them out of the way so we don't get caught. Like,
Yes, I will not leave you.
all right. I mean, I just wanted to be sure because last time we were infiltrating, you left those guys alive, and I just don't want to repeat the same mistakes.
If there's an option not to fight, I would take it. If they're threatening our lives, we can take theirs.
Sounds fair and good. Let's go.
Okay. So because you rolled so high, I'll give you a little bit of time in the actual sewer so that you know where you're heading before we cut into the full initiative order events.
That's probably another
Right.
investigation, right?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say it's another investigation.
That's all you, boy.
And if you would like a stealth, which
Wait,
you still
what?
have, and if you would like, you could stealth, which
Yeah.
you still have pass without a trace for.
Okay, so what do you want first?
Stealth first if you're doing stealth, and then investigation.
Yes, we should do stealth. Sorry.
I got a 6 plus 3 plus 10, 19.
I got a 12 plus 7 plus 10, so 29.
You guys are pretty quiet, pretty sneaky. As the shadows kind of almost leech from the darkest parts of the walls to keep you as concealed as possible and quieting your steps. You find the spot, Wiswick, you open up the sewer grate and you step down, and you find yourselves down in the area from before.
His
Yes,
investigation, can that also count for traps? Unless you're just going to spawn some because I said that.
So, Wiswick, I say yes. I'll include traps in the investigation. I'll say the investigation is primarily serving two purposes: looking out for traps, and just finding the right passageway. If you're looking out for anything else, though, I might recommend one of you do a perception roll and one of you do investigation if you're trying to listen or look for signs of guards or patrols or anything like that.
I was going to ask that too. I didn't know if you wanted additional rolls. I would like to do perception for guards and whatnot. Can I get advantage? Or hey, Clayton, hey, Wiswick.
I mean,
so it depends on if you're trying to do this concurrently or
Ah,
sequentially.
okay. Probably concurrently.
Yeah, so you'd each do one roll.
now I have a question. What if I used Jet to do the perception and he helped me with the investigation?
Then you would be able to get the advantage. But Jet has I'd
Advantage
say-
because he has hearing.
True. I'd say yeah. Okay. Timber probably has a better modifier, but Jet would get advantage automatically. So, yeah, you can use Jet, and you two can, and Timber, you can give him advantage in the investigation check.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, I'm rolling first for Jet. Okay. Check out a 5.
It's all clear, boss.
And I got a 14 plus 7, so yeah, that's a 21
Okay.
in investigation.
Okay. So, you guys enter into the sewer, and you immediately recognize the space where he climbed up that ladder. You climb down the ladder. You head down. You see the area that the trap was triggered by Scarlet. It has not been reset. You enter into that circular area where the water is pooling up and then going down the path towards the river. You start heading down the path to the river, and Wiswick, you do spot a similar trap about 10 feet into that pathway. It's a tripwire that goes across the way. It's very hard to see, but you guys both are superb dark vision and had great, and that's a good investigation roll. So you do see it just barely, and only because you're looking for it. And mostly, and it's like you look away for a second and look back, and you have to look for it again because there's no torches in the sewer. This is not Elder Scroll where the sewers have torches every 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
I'd like to mark it
Okay.
with something.
Why instead of marking it, you want to just activate it with your mage hand? We can just let it go.
I would like to do that, but I don't want to make noise. But we're pretty quiet as is.
Okay.
Do you have any from your kit? Do you have any painters? Can we mark the wall?
I mean, yeah, I have ink, so
yeah, you could do
like,
that. You could do that.
I could just splash a little something.
Yeah, just a.
I just
Timber,
the X.
you could totally pick him up and step over it if you wanted to.
Yeah, I would.
Also, but I know you want to
100%
mark
do-
it.
Yeah, I would probably mark it parallel, like
It's
perpendicular
literally
to
like,
the wall of.
it's literally an impassable thing for Wiswick to step over. He could probably get down and crawl under it, but yeah, you can easily enough mark it. It's something that only someone with dark vision could see the mark because it's so dark in here. But most of your party does, so there's no problem. You pick Wiswick up, you step over it, and you proceed deeper down the hallway. You get to a point at the end where it descends down again. It's kind of a right angle. It comes, and the water starts to descend, and there's a passageway to your left that you can go down. I will say with that investigation roll, you look past this corner and you do see torchlight down beneath the kind of opening to where the water leads to, which you see the water kind of pours down into a larger pool that's gathering.
How do you want to handle this? Do you have any distraction? Can we use that invisibility of yours?
I think that it would be better if we could clear out the sewers first, and then use the invisibility when we need it entering the building.
So you want to... You want to take these people out?
We don't want to leave guards behind us as we push forward.
This by the way, this passageway is very long. That's going down, and you can just see the blimp of the light at the end, and hear the water trickling down there. If you listen long enough, you would eventually hear just a few echoed voices in there. So there's definitely people there. And I'd say you're approaching the end of this time you have before I'm going to jump back to Cal and Scarlet and Kieran.
I would like to ensure that the guards from the Syndicate... Even so, I'm a bit hesitant unless they attack us.
Well,
We
we
could
could
scare them.
I mean, I've got magic for that, but what if they'll just run away and tell the others?
Or, Vizvik, can you snuff out their lights?
Yeah.
Since they need them, that means if we got rid of them, they'd be at a severe disadvantage. They obviously...
I'm okay with that plan.
Okay. We can take away their materials and run away. We can
You mean like, we could knock them out.
Yeah, we can knock them out. Tie them up. Let's try to do that.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna sneak forward until I get a visual confirmation.
Mm-hmm. And then Wiswick will snuff out the lights. Well, actually, we'll assess how many guards there are. If there's just one or two, we'll snuff out the lights and attempt to knock them out. I don't know how much you want to just... If these are just like commoner guards, or do you want us to roll?
Well, I'll let you guys kind of sneak down to the edge and see what's in the room.
Yep.
And then we'll
cut. Yeah. Yep. Good.
So give me stealth checks and then perception checks, or someone with advantage for perception.
Echolocation. 16.
For stealth, I got 28.
28, nice.
What'd
you get for stealth, Wiswick?
For stealth, I got... Oh my god. I'm rolling advantage on everything, and I'm still rolling like garbage. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 10 is 19.
19 for stealth?
Yep.
Okay. All
When I'm
right.
stressed, I eat.
All right. So you start to slowly crawl down as the torchlight is approaching. It takes you quite a while. It's stressful because you're like every second counts as you're moving down there. It's like literally around this time that the orc comes down and says to Cal, "You're up," and they start walking in. You get to the edge, and very quickly, Timber, you have to grab Wiswick and pull him back because you see immediately to your right is a guard at the end of the tunnel who's kind of standing in this outcropped area. What were your perception checks?
Oh, can I roll with advantage?
I rolled a 17
Oh.
with echolocation.
Oh, that's the jet.
So
So you can help him actually then. So since you use jet, Timber, you can roll with advantage with Wiswick helping you.
Okay. So I got a dirty 20.
Okay. So, Wiswick, are you having jet fly into the room? I mean, wouldn't be super unrealistic for a bat to be in the sewers.
I
That'd be
think
good distraction.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. I mean, I would probably have him do his little echolocation, little screech in the hallway, and then like start flying towards the room. So he
Totally.
would like, because you know how it goes through wall, like it doesn't go through
Yeah.
walls, but it.
Absolutely. I would say
That
that
sense.
Jet, I'll describe the basics, and then I'll describe what Timber sees in addition to what Jet sees. So out in this area, you've got the passageway opens up down like there's about a 5-foot space in front of you before the water kind of just pours down into a larger pool that gathers in the center of this long chamber and exits out of another tunnel on the opposite side. There are banks essentially on both sides of this little pool, where you can see a long one on the right side that's kind of perforated by pillars all down it. And you can see immediately to the right of this entrance is a guard. And then down in the opposite end is a guard. And it seems like they might patrol up and down this side hallway. In the middle, there is like a makeshift wooden bridge that crosses the gorge where this sewer water collects. On the left side, there's a much thinner path that leads to an outcropped area where you see there's a lot of crates. There's some, and then down, and there's like a stairway down to the water where there's a small makeshift wharf with a single boat, single row boat that looks large enough to put stuff on and to have a single or two rowers. A very nice smuggling spot, you might say. And then that outcropping has several doors that lead off into different areas. 3 to be exact. Jet would be able to count 7 individuals in this space. The 2 patrollers on the right side, and on the left side, there are 5 individuals. 3, 1 each on the doors, and then 2 that are just generally moving in a patrol on this side. Timber, you would notice kind of as you're pulling Wiswick to the opposite side of the opening to avoid the eyes of the guard, who's actually distracted by Jet, who flies up into the middle of the ceiling and hangs from a stalactite. You would notice that there are 3 doors or 3 passageways on the left side. The one closest to you has stairs leading up, while the other 2 have doors to them. For visual reference, you guys came down this passageway, and you're here, and this is the left side, or the right side that has 2 guards patrolling. Here's the left side that has the X's represent the guards.
Okay.
So I'll let you briefly figure out how you want to approach this, and then I'm going to cut back, and we're going to start the initiative roll.
What do you want to do? We can use invisibility and just enter the place, or
Yeah,
There's
this isn't a good
7.
exit.
7 guards. This is not a good exit. Do you want to take
Think
them all
that-
out?
Timber, you would identify them as no one looks particularly interesting. So they definitely look like henchmen in this area. They're definitely the minions of this region. They're not necessarily. There's no one with like a gleaming sword or sorcerer's orb. They definitely look like traditional bandit, smugglers, criminals.
How
think
many
I-
lights are there in the room?
There are.
That's something I
two-
would be looking for also.
Yeah, yeah. So most of the lights are on the this portion, the outcropping near the wharf. And then on this side, I would say there's a torch on either end. And then the guards themselves seem to have torches themselves. So this area has between like a torch here, and a torch here, and then a torch here. So 4 torches on this area. There's 1 torch in the middle here, and then each of them has a torch. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 torches. There's a torch per guard essentially, but 4 of them are sconced in the wall, 5 of them are sconced in the wall, and 2 of them are held by guards.
I signal, I tap Timber and go like this just to tell him to back up so we can speak.
Yeah.
The darkest spot is right here.
Okay.
Right,
Immediately
okay.
to the right. Okay. Or left. Sorry.
Left, yeah.
Sorry. It's your. It's the
My
camera's.
reverse?
Yeah, you're versed on
Oh.
the screen. So.
So I think we head back down the long hallway
Mhm.
just so we can whisper without getting caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy enough.
And I say,
We might be able to sneak by them, even without invisibility, if we're just heading upstairs. But I wouldn't want to risk it. I could cast invisibility on both of us, but I'm worried about how capable I'm going to be in a fight. I used a lot of spell slots before to get free. So, I mean, I don't mind doing it. I think it's kind of important, but on our way back, I might not be helpful.
In that case, let us try sneaking. If it all fails, then we go with that. Okay.
So,
We'll try sneaking. If they catch us, then we go invisible.
is there anything you could do that's a better distraction than just a bat?
I can make noises from 30 feet away.
how long is the room?
The room is about.
Wait, Bizik,
It's about 100 feet long.
we can use this if you want to. And I take out the orb. Or should we save this for upstairs?
Oh, fuck. I forgot you had that.
It's a good option. Do you know about the capabilities of an earth elemental?
I believe I've seen one before. Not close, but they can burrow, which is very interesting. And I think it would be in an advantageous environment. It also, if I can hold concentration of it, we might be able to find Scarlet with it.
The only thing about it is it's probably going to be loud.
Oh, I know. But if we're invisible, it can do all the work for us. What do you think?
It's your item. It's up to you.
Or I think you should just cut here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll cut here, give you guys some time to think about it.
Oh,
I dare
I
say.
dare say.
Upstairs. Drunken bard. The room is clamoring with drinking, feasting, drunken syndicate members, a uncomfortable Wardenborg sitting at the table at the head, a ecstatic Erdwolf Thatcher shaking in his chair. You cannot see the grin on his face underneath the pallid mask. Cal, as you stare down these three large dire wolves, and I would like everyone to roll me a initiative roll. Wiswick and Timber, you will roll. No matter what, you guys will be together on the initiative order.
Me too.
Vigilant blessing is extra D4, right?
Vigilance is advantage.
Oh. Ooh.
Shannon,
And
yes,
guidance
actually,
is
yes,
the
I do
D4.
want you to give me one. You may not have something to do, but if there's something you think of that you want to do, I want you to have that turn.
Okay. Is it disadvantage?
No, I'd say not at this point. Initiative's not disadvantage for this. Yeah.
I got a 25. Oh, you want to do
Initiative isn't
countdown?
considered like a skill check or anything. It's its own
No,
thing.
it's its own thing, so you wouldn't have it unless something says disadvantage or advantage on it. It's not affected by like poisoned or anything like that, or what you're currently in, which is a non D&D thing that's just injured, which is my own thing in my head. Let's get that initiative roll. 20 to 25. Cal, what did you get?
21.
It's 25 for me, if you don't remember.
Okay. All right. So then Wiswick and Timber are going to be at the top of the round. And we'll say we just did their turn.
Yeah.
15 to 20.
Thanks.
15.
What's the point of my good roll?
One of your good
No one
roll
likes
is
that.
that you can get to do something before Cal and everyone else does something. And then Curon, what'd you get? Oh,
Two.
lower than the wolves who rolled 3.
Oh.
It's all right.
Should probably just use Vigilant Blessing on myself. I need it more than anyone else.
Yeah, that's true, actually. All right, so
So what?
Cal,
Yeah.
you are up. There are these 3 wolves coming to surround you. The crowd is it's like crass in a way, and some of them are just like eating chicken off of the wing and just eating, and some of them aren't even paying attention to you. They're just having a drink in the corner talking as you're down below fighting. Your turn is up. What would you like to do?
With an arrogant toss of the nod of the head to anyone who's looking, I rapidly move to engage the farthest left one.
Okay, and Alex, you can go to the battle map if you'd like.
It's there. It's been there.
Next.
It was there the whole time.
It's been there the whole time. It's just
Oh,
so pretty. I had to put it up. So
Cal,
I
you
even
approach
zoomed in on
the left.
also
If
done.
you zoom too close,
actually-
you will notice the middle direwolf has 2 heads, but don't worry about it. He doesn't have it.
Sean, I'd actually like to get on his left.
Okay.
I thought that was a hyena with a mohawk.
I thought the same thing.
Back, my original plan was to hold Prongs of the Black for a surprise later, but I think we should just use it. I don't think I have time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Does an 18 hit?
An 18 does hit.
That's good.
Is it?
8 damage?
8 damage.
No, I'm sorry. I just forgot what modifiers were. 15 damage. I was like, I don't do 8 damage. What is that?
All right.
I literally can't do 8 damage with that weapon. It's literally impossible. How does a 17 do you?
That'll hit.
Will it?
14 damage.
Jeez. All right. So you leap to the side instinctively, kind of examining your foes and unsure of which one to what's coming next. You dash to the side, going for the left wolf. Are you attacking with Prongs of the Black?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You bring out Prongs of the Black. It extends out with the ooze, and you bring that in for, and you watch as it each swipe grasps and clings to the flesh of the wolf, and then rips it out, pouring this acidic ooze onto it. As you watch this wolf just takes so much damage, and it's whimpering as you see the other two start to turn towards you, unconcerned with the ravaging you just did to its sibling. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Scarlet, you hear above some mild cheering from the audience as you hear quickly the shifting of Cal. Every movement up there, sand trickling down from the single beam of light above, as his footwork, and you hear the cries of a wolf as there's just this ripping, rending sound of a blade you're familiar with ripping through whatever foe Cal is fighting. Is there anything you would like to do?
What is the ceiling made out of?
It is hard to see from here. If you'd like to do an investigation check or a perception check.
Is that going to count as my action?
It will count as your action.
Okay. I don't want to do that. I would like to forget how produce flame works. I want to try and see if I can get underneath where I think a wolf is, and I want to try and launch a produce flame up at it and see if the ceiling will catch.
Okay. So you can definitely shoot a produce flame up there if you'd like, if you want to give me a ranged spell attack.
I would love to. Okay, that's
Isn't produce flame like a lantern flame?
You can throw it.
Okay. Yeah, but okay.
Possible I won't do it.
No, go ahead.
No. I mean, produce flame is not just kind of like a tiny little lantern flame. It's like a.
Yeah, I'm still concerned how thick these floors are.
Yeah, it might not do anything, but.
Okay, carry on.
19 plus something.
So it'll definitely do some damage.
Sorry.
I
didn't want to have my sheet open because it makes my computer run slower, but I don't have it on here. Sorry, guys.
It's no problem. This is not going to be as snappy as combat because we're jumping back and forth in the scene.
Yeah, I don't mean to be taking up time though. All right, so 19 plus 7 is 26.
I mean, that'll definitely deal damage, so go ahead and roll a damage roll. It's not going to hit the wolf or anything. It's just going to hit the opening of this
Just
pit.
trying to help. Literally the only thing I can do. Excellent. 15 points of fire damage.
15 points of fire damage?
It's 2d8. I rolled a 7 and an 8.
I have to double check that because I don't think it scales when you're. Oh no, it might. It actually. Oh, it definitely does. All right. 15 points of fire damage to the opening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you watch as you fling the flame up above, and it kind of hits it and scatters across it, lighting up the space too for you for a moment. As you can kind of see around you that you're in a chamber that has 2 entrances. The one you've seen Thatcher come through, and then one across the hall. And there's just sort of circular walls around it. This is a very isolated, singular chamber, prison. But it hits and it kind of scatters across it. Maybe some of the flames lick through the crack, but it doesn't destroy it by any means, and it does not light on fire, but it does deal some damage to it.
Okay. That's all I can do.
Would those above in the crowd maybe see this?
I'd say for you, Kieran, because you would be keeping. I know you'd be keeping an eye between Cal and the crack in the floor where you heard the voice of Scarlet. You would definitely see kind of a shifting in the sand, where kind of there's some kind of impact where some sand shifts, and you can see kind of few tiny licks of flame. So what I want to do is I want to get through the first full round, so get through to Kieran, and then I want to take a very quick break, just because we've been going for a while. Just use the bathroom, whatever, and we'll get back right into the action at the top of the round with Wiswick and Timber. All right, so these three wolves now are going to lunge for you, Cal. The one that attacks first, it's not even waiting for its allies, so it doesn't get advantage because it's honestly, these things are emaciated, and this one is just like it's not thinking about strategy, it's just thinking about attacking you and eating, honestly, feasting. So first one's going to go for you. That is a 7 to hit, which is not going to hit.
It does not.
So Cal, the one you just ripped the prongs of the black into lunges towards you, but you kind of bring the prongs of the black up in a way that the wolf immediately cowers back down and gets into that low lunging position as it's growling at you, as you watch the other two kind of in unison run around to try to flank you on the other side. As they are both going to go for an attack on you. The first one, Jesus, that is low rolls. That is an 8 with advantage. It got an 8. Rolled 2 3s. The second one, that's more like it. That's 21 to hit.
Okay.
Okay. So that is going to be 8 points of piercing damage, and I need you to give me a strength saving throw.
It is not 8 points of piercing damage. Just so you know. Because I'm parrying it. And it is in fact -3 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to let you heal, but
That's fair.
I will negate the damage. But you see this. The second wolf comes running towards you, and you kind of dodge out of its grasp as they're rabid. They're savage in this point, but they're still somewhat careful and aren't just dogpiling you. But the last one looks the most emaciated and vicious as it comes up and goes for an attack, but you bring the prongs of the black and catch in the mouth of the wolf as it kind of recoils back in pain at the prongs' jagged edges burning at its gums. As you're now surrounded by these three wolves with only one kind of movement around the last one that you can make. But that is the end of the wolves' turn, and it is Kieran's turn now. Is there anything you'd like to do, Kieran?
So, Sean, So Scarlet's underneath this fighting arena. When Kieran and Cal first entered, we went through the green room area, that waiting room that leads into the pit, correct?
Yeah, so there's, you can't see it from here, but there is an opening on this side behind you, Kieran.
Okay.
Right here.
Yep.
That is where the green room is, which is not like it's as shallow as the cellar on the other side. So it's not as deep as say where Scarlet is or where the sewers are.
Okay. So would Kieran be able to surmise that there is an entrance to Kieran's cage down that way?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna bonus action slip into shadow.
Okay.
Using the hide action as a bonus action. even if I have no cover and if I'm under observation. And then we're
Listen.
gonna use that to head down that way, and using my dash, head towards what Kieran would think the best, quickest route to Scarlet's cage, I guess.
Okay. So, Kieran, so you dash back into the green room area.
Yep.
You would notice that there is only 2 other doorways or passageways in there. There's one that leads back outside, and then there's
Okay.
one to your right that is a closed door. Would you like to try to open it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the door does open. It is not
Okay.
locked. It does have a stairway that leads down, so you're on a good lead, you feel. The only person watching you at this point is a strange bartender in the corner who is serving kind of the shitty grog and food to the contestants. So do you want to look at him and say anything, or do you want to just go down?
Kind of a sly little wink, like, you know what I'm doing, and then just head down.
Okay. So with your dash action, I'd say you can get down to the base floor of that, which you enter into a space that has a left and a right to it that go kind of around, a rounded hallways with very dim torchlight. I'd say you can get down to the bottom steps and kind of look left and right before you can before the end of your turn, and I'll let you do a quick perception check for the 2 hallways.
Okay, then let's do that real quick. Eh?
Eh?
Oh. 20. Nope. It's not that. Oh my. 16.
Okay, so you can see that the left passageway is slightly shallower. It stops quicker than the right passageway that seems to go around the bend. And you can see on that left passageway it ends with 2 doors, one to the left, or one to the right and one to the left. And then the other one you can't see down that hallway. You do notice at the end of the left hallway is a guard standing there.
Okay.
He hasn't noticed you yet, because I'm going to say your hide kind of extended down there, because it's all
Sure.
within 1 turn. You're still somewhat stealthy. You were
Yep.
in the open, so the bartender definitely saw you, but this guy hasn't seen you yet. So on your next turn, you'll know there is a guard there.
Sounds good.
So, before we go to a break, a recap of where everyone is. Timber and Wiswick are starting to devise their plan to enter into this sewer, distract these guards, and ascend up into where they believe Scarlet, Cal, and Kieran are. Cal is in the midst of a bloody fight with these 3 wolves. Scarlet is attempting to attack the doorways up above, to shatter them in some way, to expose the upper floor. We will start the next round with Timber and Wiswick after we come back from a quick 5-minute break. So stick around, folks. The action is just getting started.
Who's he talking to?
You and me.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right,
Yes,
use
we're
that one, too.
folks.
back.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for waiting. As we took our brief break, we are jumping right back into the action at the top of the order with Timber and Wiswick as they observe this smuggling room where there are 7 guards in different positions patrolling or standing sentinel with 7 respective torches as well as they decide now with their joint turn, how they want to approach this room. So, 2 of you, what would you like to do?
We would like to stealth around the left side corner, where it's dark. And Wiswick?
So yeah, do
So
you want
just
to
for
take
the
out?
audience's sake of knowledge, there's 2 guards to your right that are patrolling up and down, but on the left side there is a small area, a thin path above the waters below, where there's only 1 guard and he's fairly in the dark, while the other 4 are in the platform on the opposite side of the room. So there is 1 guard in this section. What would you like to do?
So if you take out the guard on the left, I can cast suggestion on the guard on the right. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay, so if that's the case, I'm going to try casting suggestion on the guard on the right, and I'm going to make it an intelligence save, DC
Okay.
15. And my limited sentence or 2 is ignore the wolf and gnome. If you see anything suspicious, convince your guards that the intruders are coming from there and like point towards the entrance that looks like it's going towards the river.
Okay, very good. He failed his intelligence check. So you watch as the guard kind of straightens out and then kind of looks and starts his patrol back to the opposite side.
These aren't the gnomes you're looking for.
Timber, if you would like to engage in a stealth kill or stealth knockout.
Stealth knockout.
Okay, so give me that stealth check first. Pass without trace is still up.
That was a natural 20.
All right, so you have advantage on the grapple check to try to grab him and put your hand over his mouth.
Fuck. I suck at these. I'm better at just killing people with them knowing.
So why don't you?
I can't. Oh, you sure it's not just an athletics check? You know.
It's a grapple check. Which, no, grapple check is athletics.
Oh, all right. Well, I got a 12.
Well, you're a lucky dog because you only rolled a 2.
That was
So, Wiswick, what you're
fun.
watching is you see on the right side those 2 guards cross each other at this point, and the guard you've suggested is heading to the opposite direction. You watch as Timber starts pulling the guy back into the shadows after he's grabbed him and put his hand over his mouth. Now, Timber, I'd like you to give me your attack roll now to knock him out with advantage because you successfully grappled him.
Ah, yes. Okay, that is a... it's gonna hit. It's a 23. Natural 16.
Absolutely. Wiswick, you watch as he lowers the man to the ground, as he slowly goes unconscious and puts him down in the dark. No one seems to have seen Timber. You watch as the guard reaches the opposite end of the hallway. Is there anything the either of you would like to do before we end this turn and move on? So Timber's used his action. Wiswick, you've used your action. So bonus actions.
I'm gonna bonus action shift for 10 temp HP. That's it.
You got it.
Does that mean you're not a wolf anymore?
It means he's hybrid now.
I'm a hybrid, yeah.
I wanted to jump on your back, but I guess I'll just move next to you.
Yeah, well, I can't
Okay.
knock
Yeah,
before.
you can easily, Wiswick, you can easily move without drawing much attention. And that is the end of your turn. At the end of your turn, you do hear that guard who reaches the end start shouting out to the other guards. Oi! Oh, I saw something coming out of the grates. Someone's trying to get in from over here. As you start to see the guards start to all kind of gather up towards the opposite end, you notice one stays behind. It's not the one at... Actually, no, it is... I'm sorry, it's the one that stays behind is at the stairway. But the rest of them have all moved away from that spot. So there's still one guard in your way of the stairway, but the rest of them are distracted and have moved away from this area. That will pick up at the start of your next turn with that situation. And we're going to cut to Cal now. So Cal, you were surrounded by these wolves. You hear the cheering. You kind of peek up. Good job, Steph. You peek up kind of like as you're gritting your teeth, look up, and occasionally you see there are some people paying attention, but the person paying the most attention seems to be Thatcher and the warden. Everyone else kind of is like, yeah, people fight and die in this pit all the time. Occasionally they'll look down. Some of them you kind of, for a moment as you're preparing to do your move, someone like literally tosses and empties their beer on you from up above. It's not a very pleasant environment. What would you like to do as you get splashed with a little ale?
I'm gonna hit the guy the already damaged wolf.
All right, go for the attack roll.
Yeah, 24.
24 will definitely hit.
$18 damage, 17 damage.
You watch as you bring the prongs of the black down, and it essentially, you bring it down, and it just like slashes across the head and top of the spine, and the head just crumbles into the ground as the wolf rolls over onto its side and gives its last cry as it is dead.
Same motion. I give a backhanded uppercut with the sword to the guy to my right, or
Absolutely.
the next one over.
Absolutely.
It's 17 to hit.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, we already know it does. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. That's massive damage. It's really not. 16 damage. Been rolling 7s, 8s, and 9s on damage.
All right, as the prongs of the black whips over to the side and crashes into the side of this wolf, who cries out as they get down into a low position, ready to attack. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Not yet. I don't know how much time I have to buy.
I know. Steph, you keep knocking your green screen over.
I'm doing nothing.
Scarlet, you hear the commotion up above. What would you like to do?
I'll do the same thing I just did. I want to try and hit that same spot that I already hit.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to attack.
I don't think that's going to do it. That is a 11.
This one seems to skitter across the bars and just harmlessly dissipates as the light scatters across. You do get the same glimpse at the room around you, and sort of the same thing. There's a passage to your front, passage to your back. There are what appear to be kind of like some desks kind of pushed up against the walls in the back with some chairs, either for guards, and then one of them you do notice glinting off of the table are definitely torture devices. Not necessarily for you, but for this room.
Mm-hmm. Can I switch and do it with my offhand?
No, it doesn't work that way.
Damn it. All right. Well, then that's my turn.
Hey, it's doing something. If there's anything else you want to do, you could always try something else. But anyway, we will move on now to the wolves. The two wolves left, who are both going to go for a lunge onto Cal. The first one gets a 24.
Ooh. Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, that is 8 points of piercing damage, and I need you to give me a strength saving throw.
It is no points of piercing damage. Thank you very much.
Okay, as you parry the attack, do not need to do the strength saving throw, as you once again ring the prongs of the black in and parry this wolf back. The next one is going to go for you, and that is going to be a 15 to hit, which I do not believe hits.
No.
All right, so you're keeping these wolves at bay as you're slowly taking them out, but they do not get the upper hand on you as you watch Thatcher kind of lift himself up, looking down into the pit, watching you, watching every step you make, every skill you use.
I don't like how you just said that at all.
Huron, you are up.
Let the record show Tim disagrees.
I am uncomfortable.
Clayton, can you read back the minutes, please, and tell me if I was uncomfortable with that statement?
Turns out, yep, you were uncomfortable.
Good assessment.
Thank you.
Huron, you're at the end. You're at the fork
Yep.
in this road. There's a guard that you can see to your left. There's a torch in the wall. To the right, you could just see the torchlight from the end of the hall.
How far is the guard from the foot of the stairs?
I'd say about the hallway is probably about 20 feet down.
Cool. Kieran is just seeing a guard. Is like, he's probably guarding a door that has something important in it, like a prisoner. Sorry. I'm not gonna do that. He walks down the hall and just not trying to be stealthy at all. Like he's gonna kind of almost call out a little and be like, yes, you there. You work for the butchers, right? I was told to come down here to meet with someone. And while he's just, literally bullshitting, not trying to convince him anything, walks right up to him and then just drain life. Life drain.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Let the record show that
Inflict
Tim
wounds.
likes that Kieran has been learning how to lie.
Yeah, this is the pinnacle. This is what he's been training for.
It
Alright.
wasn't technically a lie.
Drain life, is that a saving throw or an attack?
Inflict wounds is actually.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It wasn't technically a lie.
Ooh,
Like in the way that the fairy don't tell lies,
right. 24 to hit.
I told you I was sent to meet with someone. I didn't say who sent me.
That'll definitely hit.
And I guess I didn't specify, but I am going to cast it at second level
No
for
problem.
insurance. That's 4d10. I don't.
Yeah, just D&D Beyond. Yeah.
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 Okay, cool. That's 23 necrotic damage.
23 necrotic damage. How do you want this guy to die?
Yeah, Kieran is just walking up, doing that thing where he's kind of lying, but he's just kind of bullshitting to startle this guy. Just walks up and then face palms him and then just kind of pushes him gently. Like he's not putting a lot of force on it. It's more like he just follows the body as the life is drained from it.
It's very much like when Batman infiltrates the Joker's lair and that one minion's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he just punches him in the face and he goes down. But yeah, no, you're just walking up like, "I heard you're with the butchers," and then he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And just right in the face and just as you see the veins blacken around his face, down his neck, as that light, that twisted, creepy light of Ilyavania that reminds you a lot of the light that emanates from the pool in the Queen Ayla's court, just crumbles this man to the ground as he falls unconscious. A flash of light. Scarlet, you see a flash of light under the door behind you.
And then, so Kieran would do this simultaneously, mechanically, I understand, but he would, while trying to open the door just to check, also start patting down the guard to see if there's a key.
All right, give me an investigation check. Door is absolutely locked.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, not bad. 13.
You find some standard things in them. You do not find a key. Thatcher does not trust his guards with a key to one of his precious prisons. This guy has no key on him. Short sword, dagger, 12 copper if you want it.
No, we're not. No, please.
You can get some gummy bears with that.
We'll mutilate his body and soul, but we will not take his money.
Right. Especially that little.
Professionals have standards.
At least Silva. But anyway,
How is
anything
the
else you'd like to
candy
do on your
industry?
turn?
I mean, there's a lot more things, but I think you've already given me.
Yeah, that was. I'd say that. Yeah, that's the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Door is locked. Scarlet, you see the light and you hear the door trying to open. You might presume it could be Kieran in your mind coming to help you. You hear the guy on the outside. And actually, no, you hear a voice that sounds familiar. Just lightly hear the mumbling of, I hear you're with the butchers. As you can think, you identify Kieran is most likely on the other side of that door. And that brings us back to Timber and Wiswick.
Wiswick, snuff out that light behind the guard by the stairs.
I do that. Prestidigitation.
And then follow me after after he does it, I want to blink behind him and knock him out.
All right. You can go straight towards the advantage on the attack roll if you want. I will say if you fail the attack roll, he will shout out. The grapple is meant to cover the mouth. So if you want, you can still do the grapple.
I'll do the grapple. I rolled a natural 18 on my attack, but I'll do the grapple.
After you roll.
Are you going to use that 18 for the grapple or for the attack?
Oh, I'm going to use it for the grapple. Yeah, 19. 19 for the grapple.
Okay. Oh, actually, I have to roll for that. You successfully grappled him. Go for the attack now with advantage.
Okay. Okay, that's I think it's a dirty 20, I think? Yes, dirty 20. Keep forgetting if it's plus 7 or plus 6.
You knock him out. Now, I'm going to say real quick, what do you want to do with the body?
Actually...
If this was Dishonored, you'd drag it back to the dark spot and then move really quickly.
Right.
But that's not what this is.
That's not what this is.
Say, give me a quick perception check.
Yep, thank you. That's a natural 20. Holy shit.
Right.
3.
So they are definitely very distracted out there. So they have not detected you. They have not heard you. You've got the guard. You're slowly bringing him to the ground. You can drag him where you want to. They're not going to be standing by there for a while as this guy is just continuously yelling, right there, though. Look closer. I'm pretty sure. Look at the way that water's going. That's definitely an infiltrator. I think we got to get into the water. I think we got to go down there and check it out, boys. As they're all like, what? What? It's the sewer. It's just the sewer. It's all we see. You look up the stairs and you do notice it kind of leads up towards another chamber that does have a torchlight in it. The stairway is fairly dark, but there is a torch in another chamber up there. You can't see quite into the chamber. It looks fairly small, but and you don't necessarily hear anything, but you don't know if there's anyone up there.
Could I move up there? Just to peek
Your
ahead?
guys' turn is concurrent, so you can definitely sneak up there if you want to, Wiswick.
Yeah, so like as he's taking him out, I sneak behind him and head up the
Okay.
stairs.
And as he's sneaking by, I'll just say, Vizik, that they're going to know.
Take him with us.
I drag the body up.
I'd say that's all you can get as Timber. You start to drag up. Wiswick, you get to go ahead. Give me a stealth check and a perception check, which will count as your action.
Is there stone here?
If you stay huddled against the wall, then yes.
Cool. Oof. Oof.
I still have passes that trace up.
Yeah, thank God. 7 plus 3 is 10, and that's with advantage.
10?
No, wait. 7 plus 3 is 10 plus 10.
Okay.
20. Sorry, my bad.
Cool. I forgot the password trace was still up. You get up to the top, and Wiswick, there's no one here. You see another torchlight up another set of stairs. But in this room particularly, there's no one here. There's a table that has some papers scattered across it, a candle light, a small chest, and a dagger stuck in the table with a few, you see some gold coins scattered across, and a chair. This is just kind of like a little small chamber before the steps go up, further up into the space above.
Can I use a object interaction free action to just snuff out the light that's like
Yep.
near me?
Yes, you can.
Okay, great. That's what I do.
Okay. The light goes out. You hear the commotion downstairs. You don't hear anything up the stairs, except you do hear up those stairs a quick, I hear that you're with the butchers. As you are, both of you in this chamber, Timber has dragged the body up, out from down below. That might buy you some time where the guards are like, oh, where did Roger go? Someone go check on Roger. But you are in this chamber now. You hear Kieran's voice above, that's the end of your guys' turn. And we're going to cut back to Cal as these two wolves are closing in on you now. Let me guess. You're going to slash.
I am. As I said, I'm just buying time for my friends to, achieve our goal here. So, looking for a how's an 18, Sean? I know it is. I don't know why it is.
Go for it.
Yeah, 6 + 3 is 9, + 7 is 16.
Okay.
No, guys, I roll a D8 and a D4 on every attack. It's very hard for me to roll anything lower than like a 12.
Yeah, and then add his dex modifier or strength modifier.
Yeah.
He's gonna always hit like double digits pretty much. You'd have to roll ones to get
one. Yeah, it's the only way. Yep.
All right, so you slash that sword across. This wolf is bloodied as fuck, but it is still alive.
Bastard. I'm gonna go again.
Go for it.
It's 18. Let's see if it's the same damage. It's not. It's one less. It's 15.
This wolf is demolished as you can hear the crackle of the acid on its flesh burning it away as there are now 2 wolf corpses in front of you.
I turn calmly to face the last one.
I'm gonna take this one out because this one I painted yesterday. It looks nice.
Hey, that wolf looks nicer than the other 2.
That's a really nice wolf.
It's the only one I painted.
What a nice wolf.
Look at this good boy.
You got a nice wolf there, boss.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
How much you want for that wolf there, boss?
Look at this good boy.
Oh, that's a good boy.
Look at him with his bone spines.
I love it.
I'm a little concerned that he has spines as a wolf.
Can I get spines, please?
Yeah, that's it. My turn's over.
Okay.
I don't know how much more fighting I'm gonna have to do, so we're trying to conserve.
Yeah, totally. It's definitely like.
That's my apology. My apology to the audience is because I'm not doing anything entertaining. It's just like.
But no, it's exactly what you should do because 3 dire wolves is clearly a like waste your shit on these guys.
Yeah.
Because they seem tough, but their health is not super high. All right, Scarlet, you are up. You've seen the light from the door behind you that you presume now is Curon trying to make his way in here. He grabs at the door and it's clearly locked. What would you like to do?
I want to get over to the bars and I want to hold on with one hand and I want to stick my hand through the other one and just light it up so that it's lit. And I just want to say, Curon, in here.
Curon, you can definitely hear Scarlet's voice crying out.
Is that Scarlet's voice crying out?
Scarlet, is there anything else you'd like to do?
No.
And Curon, I would say, for your reference, it is definitely like, Curon, in here. As there are definitely some ribcage injuries going on. No, your performance is great. Just a reference, she is clearly very injured.
Just a reminder that Sean is the director.
It's like, hey, on that, can we do a second take? In this one, can
So we're
you
gonna
really,
take that again. I want you to
wanna
really lean into the you're
Yeah,
breathing and you can't. Yeah, it's just a struggle.
like that was great, and that's perfect for like our safety take. But right now,
Yeah.
ooh, just like
that
come
was
on.
great, but we're gonna do it about 7 more times.
Oh, my director is coming out. Anyway,
I'm one of those directors. All right, do it again.
all right, one more time for safety. One more time for safety.
Let's get it one more
for
time.
safety. One more time for safety. All right,
All right, set up
Scarlett.
2. Here we go.
Can we change all the lights? Anyway, Scarlett, is there anything else you want to do on your turn? I'd say that was really just your action and free action.
There's nothing else I can do, so
Alright.
that's it.
All right, the last wolf is up, and this one is the most emaciated one, as I said earlier, and it's just gonna savagely go for you, even though its compatriots are bleeding into the sands below. That is a 21 to hit. For 11 points of piercing damage. No parry?
I'm so sorry.
11 points
Yeah,
of
no, we're
piercing
parrying.
damage.
It was. I was like, he's not reacting.
He's
Yeah, I know. Right?
That was 11 points of damage. You're
No,
gonna parry
it was -1. Yeah.
Okay. So you're keeping this wolf at bay. And I'm assuming you're probably gonna fucking ruin its life in the next turn. Curon, you are up now. You can hear Scarlet's voice. You can see some of the flame lights below. The guard is dead. The door to the opposite door is closed and locked. There's no one seemingly there. You're not sure if anyone heard you or heard the guard go down, but you are where you want to be.
All right, so Sean, I'm going to ask you something. I just thought of this. Lehman's tiny hut, a 10-foot radius immobile dome of force, springs into existence around you. When that happens, if there's walls around me, doors maybe, what happens to those when the dome of force springs into existence?
That
I'm
is
sorry to challenge you. I
very
literally
good
thought of
question.
this because I was like, how am I going to get through this door with the spells I currently have? Because Curon is not a door breaker by any means, nor is he a door picker. He's nor a door licker. For good reason.
What about a nose picker?
You got a glaive. You can get some leverage there.
That was my next thought. But the first one was using magic. Because
Reminder, doors are weakest at the frame. So really what you're trying to do is damage the frame at the area where the catch hits it, right? So even you could probably kick down a door if you kicked just to the left of the doorknob.
So this is a strange situation
Unless it's a security door.
because
No,
what
you're fine.
makes me lean towards your conclusion
right,
is the term dome of force.
right.
Because
Like
force
force
makes me
damage.
think of force damage. I'm gonna ask you to give me a quick spell attack roll.
Okay. Natural one.
Oh, it's one of those moments when a DM is like, I asked for this,
No.
hoping things would be fine.
Yeah.
Because
8 is the
Oh.
overall.
hoping essentially for not a natural one, but ultimately.
Oh no. So
What I'll
close.
say is that this just delays the destruction of the door by 1 turn.
Okay.
So the door that you watch, and it's a frightening experience because also, oh wait, hey, Lehman's tiny hut takes 1 minute to cast.
Yeah.
Wait. I thought. Oh. You're right.
I got 10
So-
rounds in me. Go ahead.
I did miss that.
Scarlet probably be able to destroy the door with fire before the
Yeah, right.
10
Yeah,
minutes.
and that's like one of
One
the
minute.
things where it's like realistically, it probably takes you a minute to destroy a door. Like to get If I was to go to the glaive route.
Yeah, I mean, wood has an AC,
Right.
and that's what I've been operating off of for Scarlet's Fire.
Right.
Except it's vulnerable to it because of the fire. But would you like to do something else?
Yeah, that 1 minute cast time. My apologies, cast crew audience.
It's true. I honestly always forget about
That
that
would've been
too.
so
But
cool.
it's purely for balancing reasons because
Right.
being able to do that instantly in combat is such an. OP
I love
move.
the image of this door imploding inwards, right? And Scarlet being like,
Mhm.
"What the fuck's happening?"
What the fuck?
And
Yeah.
then, as if crawling from a tent, Kieran is like, "Ooh, hello,"
Hello.
because he like because the hut's up now, and he just crawls
Yeah.
through it to like.
All right, Kieran, is there something else you'd like to do?
Yeah, we're gonna take the glaive and go trying to pry it open at the handle.
All right, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Hmm.
More natural ones. Did you roll another one?
You have to say something. No, it's a natural 2, so that's a 5. Fucking 5.
I think that hits a door though.
You'd be surprised.
It's not about hitting the door; it's about damaging the door.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't damage the door.
Huron hits it, but in a very
Yeah, you hit the glaive, and it's definitely a point where you're like, I can definitely cut through wood, and you just like hit it with a like a knife, and you're like, I can't cut through wood unless I try harder. As the glaive definitely like it's not like it doesn't do any damage, but it's very superfluous damage in the way that it just kind of pierces it a little, and you're like, okay, shit. This is I need to hit harder or do something else. I will say inanimate objects fail saving throws.
Well, so I made my attack. Then I'm gonna cast spiritual weapon and have that do my attacking for me.
The awesome crescent moon glaive that you all saw in the art, which is even cooler than I imagined it with Eddie York's art.
Now I like the image of Kieran standing there with his arms crossed, kind of pissed off, just letting this spiritual weapon just hack at a door until it's gone.
All right, that's a 17.
That'll hit.
At least this thing can fucking something. Sorry for my language, audience.
You are fucking not forgiven.
7 damage force.
Okay, I would say that you watch as the spiritual glaive goes. Ooh, I just moved my notes down. As I hit my keyboard. You see it sink into it and dig down, and you can see it breaks the first hinge of the door. The second hinge is still there. So it's not quite broken down. It'll probably take at least one more attack from the spiritual weapon to break completely.
And after seeing that, Kieran will call out. Sorry, that's me clearing my throat. And it's not Kieran. He's in good health, relatively speaking. Calls out, Kieran! Scar.
Try again. You could do it. You could do it, Stefan.
All right, so far Kieran is called out. Kieran!
Can we cut this? Take 2, please.
Oh.
Everyone gets 1. Scarlet, I'm coming. It's just gonna take a moment. As he hits it, doesn't do anything, and the spirit weapon hits it, it does.
Yeah, in Scarlet, you would see the familiar spiritual weapon break through the first hinge. It would like fling off, and like you would see it like ching ching ching, the metal hinge cascade towards your cell, and then it's like as he's getting ready for a second attack. Back to the top of the order with Wiswick and Timber. You hear the shouting of Kieran up above. You also hear the quick movement of another person.
Where?
So if you're looking up these stairs, there's a left path and a right path. Left is where Kieran is. Right path, you hear someone coming down that hallway.
It's fucking Caleb.
I go in the.
Fucking hate that guy.
I go in the the intersection like immediately. I look left and right immediately.
Upon entering the intersection, you enter it and you turn, and there is a guard just standing there like this, with an axe out, who is coming down this hall. And you bisected each other, and you're staring at this guard who is coming down to investigate the noise Kieran was making. Oh god, hiccups. He's staring right at you, like, as you see him go.
And Timber's going to jump off the wall and kick him in the face.
All right, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Woo!
Oops, I fell off the table.
That is a it's a dirty 20.
That'll definitely hit. Go ahead and give me a damage roll.
I shall do that. Boop. That's gonna be some 8 points of damage.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do, Simper?
I have 2 attacks.
Yes, you do.
That one is a 16.
That'll hit.
Oh, that's 6 damage.
He is still up at the end of his
I'm
attacks.
gonna not do what I wanted to.
I thought you were about to say flurry of blows.
Or
stunning strike.
No, I'm offhand. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I was gonna kiss him, but I might go into a rage. So, an emotional rage of love. Oh, that's a dirty 20 again. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that'll hit.
That's another 8 points of damage.
Okay. You watch, Wisbick, you're kind of like following Timber up these steps, and you see this guy approach, and you see Timber just as the guy in those 3 quick punches just collapses to the ground and rolls down the steps and lands in front of you. And you're like, oh! But you've eliminated the 2 guards in this region. There are the guards downstairs. Wiswick, you can hear them be like, "Fucking idiot," as they all start to return to their posts.
I want to. I think at the beginning of the turn, I commanded Jet to come to me and then go down the hallway that I hear the noises from, like where I heard Kieran's voice from.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically command Jet to go down the hallway and lead them here. Essentially, like he's gonna fly down the hallway. If he sees Kieran, he's gonna fly back and like show them the way. If there's anybody in the way, he's gonna fly back to me.
There would be no one in the way because the hallway that Timber just entered is the rounded hallway Kieran had entered. So Timber is literally like 20 feet away from Kieran. And Timber, you would hear Kieran and his spiritual weapon. As you take out this guard, you would hear that Kieran is at the end of this hallway.
And Timber would make, after some swift blows, Timber would make his presence known. Kieran. That's it.
Well, if that's the case, Wiswick's gonna go to that chest and he's gonna open it up. Is it locked?
It is.
This is what you're worried about right now.
Wiswick entered an empty room. I said, I'm gonna throw a locked chest in there. He's just lucky I didn't put a fireball trap on it.
Yeah.
Or did you?
How heavy is the chest? Can I try and pick it up?
It's quite heavy. You could carry it, but it would be really cumbersome.
Ooh, that means it has good stuff in it. You should
Or
probably
it's just
get
water.
it. It's just water.
It's
It's just
literally
sand.
Rocks.
It's just
Rocks.
I pick up the chest and I start heading to leave.
You cannot stealth while you're moving this chest around the facility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're pretty much like maybe occasionally lifting it up, but mostly like.
So it's but it's dark where we knocked out the guard at the bottom of the stairs.
True.
And it's also dark in the corner where we knocked out that other guard.
Yeah.
Could I possibly take the chest, use a bonus action to Misty Step from one dark area to the next dark area?
You could only go to one with the bonus action. And then you have to wait till the next turn to Misty Step back.
No, I'm saying pick up the chest, use my movement action to walk to the dark area, Misty Step to the second dark area.
Sure, you would be stuck in that corner while your friends are like 60 feet ahead of you.
Right. But how loud would that be?
We don't have time for this.
Well, it sounds like I'm gonna be the closest one to the exit. At this point.
Which is so helpful for the rest of us.
Wiswick, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What do you want to do?
Alright, I follow Timber down the hallway, and I ready
also
an
thinking
action.
it's not just Scarlet you need to get out of here. Now you gotta get Cal out of here too, kind of. He doesn't do well in the next 2 rounds of combat. Two rounds of fighting pit.
I have confidence in his abilities. I'm gonna follow Timber. I go to pick up the chest, it's too heavy. I follow Timber, I ready a action to cast poison spray down the hallway if I see any of the guards follow us up.
Excellent. Alright, so you're at the tip of the stairs, looking down, readying the action. Timber, you call down for Curon. Curon, you identify that Curon is down there. Cal, you were up with the last wolf.
I'm gonna attack it.
Smack.
That's
in a truly original manner. I'm gonna roll
slash.
a 16.
That hits.
Thanks. I'm gonna roll damage now, Sean. And oh look, it's a 15.
Okay. It's still alive.
Okay, I'm gonna attack again. It's a 19.
That'll hit.
Yeah, it's a 17 on damage.
It's still alive, barely though.
Bonus action with my offhand, I'm gonna punch it in the head.
You punch it?
Yeah.
In
My
head.
offhand is my open hand.
Go ahead. Absolutely, do it. It's 1 plus strength modifier.
I don't
Or
think
once
this is
you
how
hit,
this
once you
works, but
Just,
Except for the fact that it might be just enough.
all right. How's a 15? That we know that hit. Yeah.
It's just literally. I don't know that.
It's 5 damage.
5. That would be 5 damage.
How do you want to punch this thing out? It had 5 hit points left.
Well done.
All right,
Cal.
so bang with the sword. It's bleeding, and I look at it like I was pretty sure that last hit was like critical, and it should have been dead. And so I stop for like a moment of time, and I hesitate, and I cock my head at it, and I just go, just like rabbit punch it right in like the forehead.
Yeah, it's totally like barely like.
Yeah,
And it's just like, and it's just like, ooh. Absolutely. The wolf is dead. The crowd, kind of like distracted at first, is now looking down like he took no damage. And they're just
I do the badass spin your sword to get rid of the blood thing.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
and they're all just like, they all kind of look up to Thatcher, and he just sort of looks down with that disappointed face, like,
I give him a cocky smirk and bow again, like I did in the beginning.
He stands up, kind of approaches a little bit, and he says, well, it appears as though our contestant is more remarkable than we believed. Morris, you've brought us something quite entertaining, and I believe that warrants us. Moving on, skipping round 2 to bring out round 3. Since you are so skilled, castle.
Can I roll an insight check? How did he just say that name?
Okay, give me an insight check. What are you specifically looking for? Like,
Was he mocking the name, or was he mocking me because he knows who I like? Was it like a was it like castle, or was it like castle?
I see. I know what you mean.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Shut up.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking. Go ahead and talk.
All right.
Because I can't find insight. Oh, it's +0. It's 16.
He's just mocking you.
Okay, carry it on.
Yeah. So you see, then there is a rapping on the floor of 3 strikes, and then you hear you can actually like hear people down below. Is that 3 already? Oh fuck! As they're like, all right. Be very careful. As you hear like them approaching this bars, and you hear like this opening of a cage, and then like you hear the skidding of something towards where you are, and out of that opening in the pit you just see this like it's another plop of meat, but this one's like pretty rotten. It's not by any means like fresh meat thrown out. This is like a very old set of meat, as you just hear like a something grasping at the walls, pulling itself through a spot too small for it. Before you start to see this
He beats people to death with a club.
You see this green, kind of like forest green skin coming out. As you see these 2 hands grasp at the sides as a troll pulls itself out and stands up several feet taller than you.
Ah! How tall is this fighting pit? I feel like it's not that tall.
Open ceiling.
Yeah, I know it's an open ceiling, but I mean, like, is he like at the level of the patrons?
No, as you can see on the map, the troll is not at the level of the patrons. Okay. Although if it was not, if they didn't do something, it could attack a patron for sure.
Yeah, it could just reach up and.
Yeah, like these guys over here, who are just like enjoying the show, in a danger zone for sure. As this troll comes out now, and it rolled the same initiative as the frickin' wolves. As you see this troll come out and just kind of like stare confusedly out, like unsure of the lights all around it, as it grabs with one hand in a single grasp the rotten meat and just starts to gorge on it. As it doesn't have a club or anything, it has like simple rags on it. It has these like green pustules all over it, this long ragged brown hair that goes down like past its head, as you see this like disgusting face covered in pustules, these bright amber eyes as it just stares right at you.
I crouch into a more leaned forward fighter stance and extend the prongs of the blackout to my side, and then as we cut to my friends.
Absolutely. This brings us to Scarlet. As you can hear more commotion in the hallway, what would you like to do?
So I know that at least Kieran is out there. I don't know, there's really not much she can do. Can I like try and listen and see if there's like any guards that are coming from a different direction? I don't know how much I'm going to be able to hear.
Give me a perception check if you'd like.
9.
9.
It's hard to hear much. Honestly, you're distracted by the up above of the troll as it's approaching Cal. As you can tell that the battle up above has accelerated.
Okay. That's it.
All right. It is the troll's turn. It is going to immediately lunge at you, Cal, with all of its multi-attacks.
How many multi-attacks?
3.
That's going to be a 14 to hit.
Get out of here.
That's a natural 1.
That won't hit either.
And then that's a 22.
That will.
Okay.
Get up out of my eye holes.
But the natural one, it trips a little, and it's actually only an 18. Loses 1d4 max of hit on the second.
It's 11 points of slashing damage as it claws across your chest and kind of it does that thing where it doesn't like pierce through, but it pushes you back, and you're kind of like, oh shit, my armor's pierced a little.
-1 AC.
Only if this was 1.5 years ago, Sean, where he was trying to develop a durability system for armor that wasn't too oppressive,
awful,
but it's ultimately super oppressive. Although, not going to go on a tangent about it, but Quest has a pretty good system for it, the new RPG Quest, for damage.
Luckily,
armor.
very little of my AC is based on armor.
That's true. Anyway, that is the troll's turn.
Without my armor, I'd still have a 17.
It missed on its 2 first attacks, and that swipe casted you back a little bit as it attacked you. See, Shannon, this is why I was painting a troll last night.
I put that together.
All right. Kieran, you were up.
Gonna have that, yeah, I don't know where all the phlegm came from. My apologies. Gonna have that spiritual weapon attack.
Have you seen a local physician for leeches or something similar to?
How much is was the hit?
14.
Rebalance your humors. Maybe you have a distinct lack of black bile.
How fucking strong fucking door?
Wood has an AC of 15.
Oh, so close.
All right. Well,
I'm not gonna say it doesn't deal damage, but it doesn't do enough to knock the door off its hinges.
Right.
I'd say if you'd want, I'll put it this way because I think it should open. You can use your bonus action to pull the assist your spiritual weapon in blasting the door off.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bonus action is to use the spirit weapon.
All right. Yeah. So I'll say
so
if you want to use
an
action, if you want to use even honestly, all right, fuck it. I'm flavoring it. The door, because I'm just gonna say you use Sacred Flame on it after the door.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I mean, you said it saves, and I was like, or it fails. So
yeah. So Shannon or Scarlet, you would see it sinks in one more time. You see the spectral crescent moon blade, and then suddenly you hear it's quiet for a moment, and then you just see the door. This golden silver flame all around it as suddenly the door fires off its hinges and hits against the bars and then scatters into the side of the room as you see looking on the other side of the smoke of the sacred flame is Kieran.
Well, that was rather annoying. Damn door. Kieran walking into the room. And for my reference, now that there's light spilling in here,
I have
what
my
do I
flame
see?
up too.
Oh, right.
Give me a quick perception check with advantage.
Duel.
76?
No, 20. just a 21.
That's pretty low for you.
I've been rolling very low today.
The room, it's a circular wall, central gated cell. It's a very clearly locked cell that you see Scarlet within. You can see her holding this ring on the wall. You can see she clearly cannot stand on one of her legs. And you can see there's a loose splint built around it. On your right side, there are just some scattered tables where people might sit. On your left side, you do see the torture center. You see a table that is not scattered. It is set up exactly where it should be. Several knives on it, several devices on it. Opposite side of the room, you see another door that leads out that you presume might be at the other end of the hallway or a little bit further down that leads to a different part of the hallway. You might even presume that other end has another door that leads to another area like the previous one did. And then you can see the thin beam of light coming from above, which you can obviously connect to Cal above. And you can hear immediately as this troll has attacked Cal. You can hear Cal like, ha, ha, oh. He dodges 2 attacks, then gets just slashed across the chest. As you can tell, the battle above is heating up.
Oh, by the Crescent Heart, that doesn't sound good. So with that perception check, are there any surgical tools on that table, or torture tools, which I guess are kind of like surgical tools? Any of those tools look useful for lockpicking?
Certainly.
right.
If you were able to get to the thinner slicing knives, you could definitely, someone with skill and aptitude could.
More of a
use
fillet
it.
knife.
You know what's funny? That's exactly what I meant. Is a fillet knife.
Yeah.
You could definitely find a fillet
Shut.
knife.
I see your mind.
Tim, get out of my head!
sorry.
I already
automatic.
have to.
It's hard to- it's hard to-
It's like once a week. I'm like, Tim's in my head.
Just walking along on a Tuesday, and you're like,
Right, I'm at the library setting, and it's like, Tim! But there's definitely a fillet knife that could be useful in picking the lock, and you can find other tools. Definitely something thin enough. It's definitely not going to be something that's going to be effective in the sense of like proficiency, but like it's definitely something that can be used.
Is this something I can like free action with to grab and head over to Scarlet?
Yeah, because you haven't used any of your movement. Absolutely, you can use your free action to grab some of that, give it to Scarlet to have her try to pick the lock.
Right. So as he's entered the room, he sees Scarlet. He said like, "Oh, that doesn't sound good," in reference to the troll. Walking over to it, he starts talking to Scarlet in like a very like matter-of-fact tone. So me and Cal have come into this amber thistle. Wiswick brought us Caleb, and he's doing okay. I'm going to grab one of these, he says, picking up the fillet knife. And as he walks to Scarlet, says, "Hopefully Wiswick and Timber will be joining us shortly, as I'm sure they will."
You know that Timber is right around the corner.
Right, you had called out. My apologies. Timber and Wiswick will be with us momentarily. Until then, hands her the turns it around, hands her the handle of it. In
Am I
reference.
close enough to grab it?
He can go up to the bars.
Yeah, Kieran
Okay,
would
all right.
been saying this as he makes
Like
his way.
he's legit in the chamber you're in.
Yeah. Okay.
And walks up to the bars, pushing or putting the handle through to her.
Scarlet, you got tools to attempt to pick that lock one more time.
Okay.
I will say though, you do not get to add your proficiency bonus to this roll. It's just a dexterity roll.
Okay.
And this is
So
going
do
to
it
more
now.
so determine how long it takes you to pick the lock than it is success or failure.
Okay. We do that now.
Yep.
Oh, it fell on the floor. Oh.
Did I taint you with my bad rolls? Yeah.
All right,
did.
we're gonna Kieran, you see her start to. She can't really see it, so she's just like, ugh. And we're gonna cut to Wiswick and Timber, who now can move on up if they would like. Wiswick, I know you're waiting at the end of the tunnel.
No, I went with Timber.
No, I meant you're at the top of the tunnel. You were holding poison spray in case they came up. The guards have not come up, but you could definitely hear them returning to their posts. So they are probably going to start investigating very soon. I'd say on their next turn, they're going to start coming up.
Timber, we gotta make a decision. We pushing forward or we're taking Scarlet and running?
Vizik, I think we should go with your first plan and take out the rest of these guards. We can wait for them to come up this hallway and take them out. But we cannot alert those upstairs with their noise. In that case, I am going to cast silence in the room that Kieran was in, just to kind of prevent any of the noise that's going to happen down here. To like separate, yeah. And I'll do that.
So you're casting silence in the prison chamber where Scarlet is.
Yes. Yep. Or because I mean, like the separation from the hallway that Wiswick and I came up, and the commotion upstairs.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. To prevent
Okay.
any of the
Yeah,
I
noise
don't
coming.
know if that's how it works, but
It is. No noise can pass through it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you could definitely, I mean, yeah. You could definitely, while Scarlet's picking the lock, cause no sound to come from there.
Wiswick, go tell them right as I cast this. And
can I use Jet's eyes to see the positioning of the guards currently?
Yeah, you can.
Are any of them grouped together?
They're pretty grouped together, I'd say. Where they were originally gathered around the canal, they've all started to move away. So there's three that are grouped together who are near the edge of the water, who are heading back to their posts from the edge.
Would I be able to rush down the stairs and cast Shatter on those three?
Yes.
Let's go for it.
Okay. What is the DC on Shatter?
We are going to do a what's the coolest way to kill these guys?
Mind Crush.
It is a good idea. Brain Shatter. I'm going to send out an electric-y, I guess it would just be like a sound, like a really high-pitched magical shriek that pierces their brains and makes their heads hurt. And yeah,
totally.
we'll make it thunder damage, 3d8, intelligence saving throw, 15.
What's the DC? One of them fails, one of them succeeds, and then one of them fails.
Okay, let's see what we do.
You should use your
Talon and Claw.
Extra damage.
Dice.
Dark Wizard Dragon Rider to destroy the flotation device around us. Toontown. And crash into the rest of his monsters, destroy them, and then mind crush them.
I thought you were gonna do a what do you call it? Spend an extra alchemical casting to deal an extra d10, which is tempting.
Tim doesn't know about that. That's magic.
I didn't even pay attention. As soon as you said spell, it was over. I was focused on Alex's Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
It's any
God,
consolation.
I remember so little from Yu-Gi-Oh!
I remember all of the abridged series. I barely remember Yu-Gi-Oh! The show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hey
My
guys,
hair is telling me.
Sorry, Yug. Too busy been focusing on this Brooklyn accent. I can't pay attention to the card game.
What's your damage, Clayton?
I just realized I wasn't gonna do the alchemical casting, but now I am because I realized that it's 2d10 now instead of 1d10. And yes, very yes.
Very, yeah.
So we got 6, 12, 15, 20 damage.
2 of
10
them.
to the half.
You watch as 2 of them just sort of grasp at their heads, scream as loud as they could as blood pours out of their ears, and they fall to the ground dead as one of them does the same thing, but does not die as they kind of like, "Ah! What the fuck?"
Yeah, this isn't mind shatter. It's actually just aneurysm.
Yeah, it's 2 of them.
It's just like,
2 of them straight up just die and
Jesus
fall into
Christ.
the sewer water and flow down the sewer, and as one of them are just like, "Ugh!" And then 2 on the opposite side are like, "Holy shit!" and start to run towards the platform. So you have 1 guard who's severely damaged and 2 that are running towards the site of your damage. That was your action. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Bonus action, I probably would have done this before, but I'll just dispel Jet, just so he doesn't have to deal with the loud noises.
Okay.
With my movement, I don't know if you allow this, but like, as Wiswick went down the stairs, I'd like Timber to go to where, like, swing around the corner. You know, the typical, like, you swing around the corner, you have your arm on the door, and you just to say something and then pull back. He yells through the door that Kieran went through, and he knows he's like they're trying to get out. We're dealing with the guards downstairs. That is going to be our escape. And then
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
and then Timber's going to use the rest of his movement to get down to Wiswick. I mean, I probably won't get there within the time, but I could definitely.
Yeah, yeah. You get down there as Wiswick kind of like pulls back from the opening, kind of like as you hear the screams in the room of and then a splash. Is your turn? You guys' turn. Cal, you are up. This troll is menacingly standing above you.
Okay, so I just reeled back from being hit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use 2.5 of the 6 seconds of my turn to close my eyes and like recenter everything, you know, like and I dip down into a stance only seen once before. And I reverse the grip on my sword so it comes up my arm, basically.
Oh,
and
you're going Star Killer stance.
Yeah, well, it switches pretty quickly. That's just that's one of the opening gambits, of a stance that will be named in roleplay eventually.
Eventually, when me and you talk about the secret feat.
Yeah, eventually. And with the remaining 3.5 seconds of my turn, all of these following attacks happen.
So first two.
Yeah. Is
I'm assuming an action surge might happen here.
With guidance is a 15. No, is a 16 with guidance.
16. That hits.
Would have been a 13. Nice.
That would not have hit.
Don't tell him.
That would be 6 plus 7 is 13 plus 2 acid damage, Sean.
So 15 points of damage total?
Yep. Second attack. 17. And guess what I'm gonna do?
What you
I'm going to disarmingly strike this troll.
Literally take off one of its arms.
That's my goal, yeah. I'll take off as much as Sean lets me. Both here and in bed. It's an open offer, Sean.
How much damage do you deal?
I'm doing it. All right, 17, 20. 3 of which is acid damage, because I know it matters with trolls.
Shut your mouth.
I just happen to literally have a weapon that does acid damage.
Yeah,
all right, cool.
You know,
hey,
Sean
Sean
might have been like, "Hey, I know fire damage does things, but didn't think about acid damage."
You know what it's time for, folks? It's time for an action surge.
Action surge! This is when Cal repositions himself. We have anime lines around him.
All right, so to describe what just happened in 1.5 seconds, I just slashed at his leg and then disarming slashed at his hand and/or arm. At the time, I extended Prongs of the Black and used it to like swing up. Now I'm like older for long, but just enough to attack it. Or 20, one less than match.
25 damage?
Yeah.
Holy
8 plus
shit.
8. Well, 8 plus 7 plus 4.
Plus the, yeah.
And then plus. Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Jesus.
All right. I'm just going to tell you this right now. On your last attack, you need to deal max damage to kill her.
Oh my god, do it.
Don't tell him.
You got this, Cal. Castle.
Asshole.
That was gonna be so cool. It was a 19.
You're hoping for a nat 20.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh fuck! That's so close. Wait. Okay. Hang on. All right. Hang on.
You've got several priority things, right?
This is the last one. This is all I got.
Okay.
This is it.
Where all the marbles.
7 plus 6 plus 4
17.
plus 7,
24.
24.
and then I'll punch it with my offhand.
Roll the offhand. Because you know what,
Oh my
motherfucker? This thing has 1 hit point.
Does a 16 hit?
That just
Yes!
fucking hits.
Alright,
Yeah.
How do you want to kill
Yeah.
this troll in 1 turn?
let me recap.
While you're
So
describing
Cal-
this, I do need to pee.
Alright, go ahead.
He's so excited.
So Cal
Yeah.
takes 2.5 seconds, centers himself, switches stances down, crouches down, and then just rapidly, like blazingly fast, he strikes, cut off the hand onto its shoulder, slash to the back, and then punches it in the face. But really, I just I get a hand in its mouth and rip its neck backwards, kind of,
Oh.
as I
nice.
fall back down.
Well fucking done.
And it kind of does. I'm gonna just keep going until Sean gets back.
Yeah. Keep going.
It as it's falling, it's like backwards,
Yeah.
and I'm standing there still. My eyes were not closed during the whole attacks, but I reclosed them to reset my balance.
Sure. Yeah.
As it falls down, wrapped around me almost, it falls
Yeah.
down backwards, like a
Yeah.
big U shape. So
Yeah.
there's we're reviewing it from a top down perfectly.
Oh
It's
man.
just a smiley face and with one eye, but I'm the eye.
Alex, I can't believe you fucking missed that.
I mean, that burned literally everything I have.
Yeah.
I'm sad I did.
Cal just took down the troll in 1 turn.
Wow. Was there a natural 20 in there?
No.
No.
That's the most
My max
impressive
damage
part.
with Disarming Strike is 26.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so that thing had 25 hit points left. He dealt 24 damage, and then he's like, offhand punch. And I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
yes. And he freaking punched that thing to death. You literally, plus whatever, plus 4, but you literally had just enough damage to kill this thing in 1 turn with 4 hits. It has 84 total hit points.
Whew.
And also you were using acid damage, so it removed its regeneration ability.
Whew.
Oh,
This is
nice.
very important.
Cal, you watch as this creature is just obliterated, and you watch its body slowly fall apart. Even
Actually, I don't. My eyes are closed again. I already described it.
Sorry. Your eyes are closed as you've just entered into, for the second time in a long time, a stance, a mentality you have not accessed in a long time. The thought of Arlen even bringing this about, as you just bring this thing down with a swiftness known only by the anime lords. And it slowly begins to fall down, but before it even...
Close.
I know. You don't have Steel Wind Strike.
When did he even
spell.
take out his sword? Sorry.
Anyway, you bring this, you cut through this thing several times with the whip-like serrated blade of the prongs of the black, and the creature starts to crumble, but then its flesh melts away as the acidity and the volatility of the troll just reduces it to a bile that mingles disgustingly like mud amongst the sand. As you look up, your eyes open as you see around you. The room is quiet.
I'd like to.
And Thatcher is
Right.
just staring down at, or the mask is just staring down at you, leaning over the table.
I'd like to, if you allow me to, because I know we're still kind of in combat with everyone else. I'd like to point my sword at him, at Thatcher, just level and lock his eyes with him, and be like, Eardwolf Thatcher, I'm still just playing for time because I do not know where my friends are.
Yeah, you have no
Are
idea.
you not entertained?
Are you not no, I wish I was as cool as fucking Russell Crowe. No, I put my sword at him and I go, I believe you have something of mine. Not that I own Scarlet. It's just the coolest thing I can think of.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool.
Just give me a quick persuasion or intimidation check, your choice.
I think I'll go with persuasion.
I mean, Cal was definitely talking about the book and the sword, right?
Without a doubt. Actually, the mask. Cal is definitely a follower of the Pallid King.
This whole time.
14.
14. Okay. So before I get to his reaction, I am going to jump into Curon. Or Scarlet. I'm going to say Scarlet, Curon, and Wiswick and Timber, since now they're all kind of together. So, and we're to be honest with you, we're out of combat at this point, really. So
Okay.
like time is a little looser than it was before. So
All right, I cast what do you call it? Magic missiles and get back in combat.
I apologize. You're not out of combat.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
fucked that lower chamber down, so you're not out of combat because there are at least 3 guards who are like, we gotta attack this little fucking gnome that just blew the brains of our fucking allies. So
Language.
They just saw
Scarlet,
some shattering noises.
Scarlet,
in the
give
darkness.
me a quick dexterity check.
Oh my fucking god. 8.
Not enough.
Damn it, I can't do it.
And I lowered the DC.
You lowered
This is
it.
the next turn.
Oh.
Not enough. You are in Curon. You watch, kind of like. I'm not gonna lie. It's like it's very depressing and sad. Not because like you know her to be a skilled rogue, but you see like how damaged she is. Like you heard from Wiswick about what happened, but you didn't realize that she could barely stand and barely breathe. Really, as she's just like digging this blade into the lock, and she's just struggling with it. She's like, I'm almost there, but you can see how much pain she's in. You don't know what to do.
Put her in the bag of holding.
And then Curon, that brings us to your turn, though.
There's so many things I want to do. Ugh. All right. So we're just gonna start. Gotta get Scarlet out of here, so we're gonna cast Sacred Flame on the lock. He's gonna be like, Scarlet, step back. And wait, is it just how big? I guess I should say it's not a very precise spell. How big is this area? Will I affect her? Will Curon? Will I? Will we both? One and the same.
I think you'll be okay if she stands back. The inside has a 15-foot kind of radius.
Oh,
so
okay.
if she steps back, it's not going to affect her.
Yeah, so Curon will, Scarlet, it's okay. You're not in the best of states right now. Stand back.
Crawl back.
Yeah, literally.
And then once she's out of the area of effect, he's going to cast Sacred Flame on the lock. It has to make a dex save, which it automatically fails. And okay, that's 15 points of radiant damage.
Scarlet, you watch as you've been attempting as the lock weakened by your attempts. Also, because my mind, I set a damage threshold that I forgot that it scales. The lock just, you watch it shatter with the light of Ilyuvania as the door opens up from the blast. As the lock is opened and you look out, kind of bewildered at even the concept that you've been freed by your friends in this moment. Cal, you feel a beneath your feet, kind of a shockwave beneath your feet.
Is Scarlet shackled still in some way?
I never was.
She was never shackled.
Okay. Curon's gonna like in the doorway, kind of lean down, like saying, like, "Here, climb on my back." He'll probably just say, Here, climb on my back. And then looking up at the under thing, he's gonna shout up, Cal, it's time to go. And he's gonna send the spirit weapon up to just into the ceiling, trying to break open. Actually, is there like a rope or a mechanism somewhere that is holding these supports up?
So I would say there actually there isn't like a mechanism. Actually, they're you can imagine they're longer boards that are on the other side. So it's really literally just like wooden boards. I mean, Scarlet damaged it earlier.
Right. Okay. So if we see if Curon sees that damaged part, he'll send it scything into that area.
You would definitely be able to see the damaged part.
Dope. Okay, that's a 17.
That'll hit.
And let's get, not that dice choice matters, but apparently it does. That's 5 points of force damage, the minimum I can do.
Is it really only 5?
Yeah. I mean, no, it's 6. I lied to make it seem.
No, I set a different threshold. It sticks into it, but I'm not gonna lie. Outside, Cal, you see the tip of the Eldritch blade, the holy blade stick through the ground as you look up and you see Thatcher's eyes, because this is happening exactly when you sort of challenge him, and he's just, you can't see his face, but you could tell just from his mannerisms that he sees exactly what you see, and there is an understanding between you two of what's happening. The people around you might not, but there is an understanding.
Do I have time to say something really quick?
I just want to see what Tim's raised hand was for.
Sure.
No,
It depends on if we're out of turn or not. I don't know.
Scarlet, give me what you're gonna say first.
As I'm on Kieran and he's starting to walk out, Kieran, wait, we have to look for my brother. He's here somewhere. I know he is. We don't want to leave without him.
Curon, not looking at her, like trying his, like looking down, like literally like holding her up, goes, yes, he's here, but I think we can't take care of that right now.
Please, we have to look.
Lie by omission. She's coughing this. Like, Kieran, just to emphasize the moment, like, this is one of the hardest things you ever to do, as she's painfully whispering in your ear, my brother, my brother. But I'm assuming you're just going to keep moving.
Yeah. Well, he's going to wait, like, he's going to go towards the door, but he's not leaving without Cal.
Okay, so you're waiting for, like, potentially Cal to be able to drop down.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Cal. Yeah, Cal, what would you like to do?
Thank you. Thank you. No, come on. No, you gotta give me this. I have a thing to say, and it's gonna be great.
As you see, Thatcher's, like, leaning over the table at this point, like a couple inches from just, like, dropping into the pit with you, the way he's leaning over, looking down at you.
Okay. First things first, Sean. How badly was the wood injured? Damaged is the word.
I mean, you saw a fucking curved blade come through.
Yeah. Okay. Like, yeah, I couldn't tell if it was like a little bit came. It was like
no.
Like,
I mean, literally, like a foot of the spiritual weapon came out, and like the people aren't paying attention because they don't give a shit, but he's paying attention.
Because he gives a shit.
I'd imagine they're looking at me. I just yelled something.
No, they'll occasionally look down. They'll occasionally look down and be like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
I'm losing money.
Well, thanks, guys. Okay, so my sword's still leveled at him. The prongs of the black. I switch hands with it.
It does that cool thing where you point it up and it goes from the whip to stiff and point it towards him.
Yeah. I have that. I switch hands with it so it's in my left, and I go, though it does seem I'm taking her back. Seems only fair I should leave you with something, eh, Reese? And I draw my other sword and throw it at him.
Give me an attack roll.
And then, if I can, which I don't think I can, but maybe it's a bonus action, I'll ask.
Just stomp your foot.
Yep, exactly. I'm just gonna jump up and down and just try and break the wood under me. If we call it an unarmed strike, it could be a bonus action.
As much as I'm like, yes, Reese is the Joker. This is very much like when Batman like shoots the little like things at him out of his arm and is like, how did I get these scars? How'd you get these ones?
Did you roll a 20?
I swear to Christ, I just rolled a natural 20.
I'm not gonna lie, what I'm about to do is super cliche. But your
I'm sure it's still
rapier
cool.
flies up, and I'm gonna say it cuts the side of his face that he doesn't have.
Yeah.
The Glasgow smile as you see it just punch through
into his
face, and you see it does like a legit. It's gruesome. The way it like slits through and hits the chair, and you see him come back. And
it like fish hooks him.
It fish hooks him.
Yeah.
And then like blood starts coming down his face immediately.
Sean, you're the best DM ever for letting me do that, by the way. Thank you so much.
What happened to the mask?
Yeah, wasn't he wearing the mask?
I'll say it actually.
Or
like,
was it like?
No. It
cracks the hole in it.
It cracks the mask. So this is actually important. It cracks the mask.
Yeah, that probably is.
That's really important.
The mask cracks almost to the point of having its own half Glasgow smile. As you see it pierce through and blood pours over the mask and starts coming down his face. I'm not gonna lie, it's important his interactions with the mask.
Yeah.
As it cracks half of it, and that silver lining, Scarlet, is important. Like the mask's condition is important. The blade goes through and it sticks in as he just. It doesn't fish hook him in the sense he's stuck there, but it like rips through his cheek and he just is down now. As he looks up at you, I'll ask you to give me a quick strength check.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think this would probably be that elegant just because I don't have time. It would literally just be like a shoulder dive onto where the wood is broken.
Yeah, you literally like choke slam yourself into this wood.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just raw strength.
Yeah, raw strength.
15.
Just enough.
I'm imagining like a slow motion Matrix dive.
Literally, that's exactly what you
I
needed.
don't think it's that cool. It's literally I just like fall.
the AC for wood is 15. You just made it.
Oh my god.
11 plus 4. Thank you, 18 strength.
So, okay. Shit. Cow, you leap up kind of after you've flung your rapier into the side of the face of Thatcher, who's now looking down at you, clutching at his bleeding face. You leap up and you hit the wood. It has been weakened, it's been burned, it's been sacred flamed, it immediately shatters. You fall down into the cell below. The door is open. I'll ask you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Fucking 23.
Oh shit.
I think it's fine if you damage me here. I think that's more than warranted. Frankly.
You're gonna take.
I don't want to be unfair.
You're gonna take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall down. As you kind of like you hit the side of the bar and you fall down. I'll actually ask you to give me a dexterity or a con saving throw.
I'm not as good as that, but that's a good roll. Oh, I forgot I have proficiency in cons. 21.
Nice.
Okay, so you're able to control your landing to avoid breaking any of your limbs or bones.
That's nice.
I'm just badly bruised.
You're just badly bruised as you hit the ground as Curon looks back towards you with Scarlet on his shoulders and looks and sees you kind of like, ugh. Ugh. What do you say as you pull yourself up?
Look at Scarlet and go, I heard you had a bit of a tough day. You all right? As I like start to like clamber very ungainly, very ungracefully. I'm very off kilter.
Okay.
It looks like you had some fun up there.
No, we should leave. We should go. Did we find Timber and Wiswick?
They're clearing the exit this way.
I'm
Kieran
still
says.
just like feverishly whispering in your ear, my brother, my brother.
Kieran is trying
I'll
his hardest
say
to ignore it.
Tim. Cal, you hear above a shouted command from Thatcher that is bloody, gurgly, and just horrible. He's like, "No, do it now." As you hear people, you hear. As you're moving, you see the body of Wardenborg fall down and splat into the cage behind you as you're leaving. This was clearly some sort of political assassination that was happening that did not intend to have the Friends of Scarlet infiltrate. So this has happened up there. There's commotion you hear above. There's immediate swords drawn as those 4 guards immediately go into action, and you hear cling, cling, cling as swords hit each other. And you hear footsteps, though, like things are happening above. Thatcher probably is not going to stay up there. So you crawl over towards Curon and Scarlet. Scarlet and Curon, we are out of everything. What are you doing right now?
I think
Wiz-
Wizwick's still fighting, isn't he?
We gotta kill this.
Real quick, before we jump back, Wizwick and Timber are fighting some fucks downstairs.
This is probably the more important part to our safety right now.
If I'm not mistaken, 3 of them exactly. So, Wizwick, just remind me of what you did at the end of your last turn. You passed Shatter. You're at the opening. That's where you are, right?
I'm still in the darkness, so I'm not sure if they noticed. Like, they probably heard me casting from the darkness. They could probably tell that I'm there, but I don't know if they've seen me yet. Like,
all right, I'm gonna say the first one has a disadvantaged attack on you. The other 2 are gonna need to make their way to this space. The first one deals 17 points of damage. 17 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
All right, so you watch as this guy comes out. One of the one that you didn't kill with your shatter comes running towards you. Has a better chance of seeing you. Comes towards and he slashes down at you for 8 points of slashing damage as his blade cuts across your chest, and you're just kind of like, "Oh shit! I've never been in the front line." As the other 2...
Actually, yeah, that's true. Wizwick doesn't... The Hydra, I think, damaged you, and...
Yeah, Wizwick mostly takes, like, the spell
I'm trying to think,
damage.
Yeah, he'll get hit by, like, a big old...
But someone coming up and, like, slashing him across the chest is foreign to him. The other 2, it takes their whole turn to get to the platform, so they're not going to be able to attack you yet. There are 3 guards in front of you at this point. And we will say, since we went through all of their turns, it's Timber and Wizwick's turn.
Are the other 2 grouped?
The other 2 are 10 feet apart.
Okay. Timber, seeing Wizwick get slashed, Timber is gonna be like, oh shit!
Are you still upstairs?
No, I came down. I used my movement to come down.
Yeah, Timber, honestly, it's the same thing as seeing that one guy with the axe just pierce right into that guy's skull.
Mm-hmm.
As they come and try to beat Timber. They're like essentially trying to beat Wizwick down.
Timber would...
Before you do that, can I just do a magic missile? Just to hit them all?
I'd say you can, but whatever happens simultaneously.
Right.
So
yeah.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
Timber's just gonna throw the kunai from where he is at the guy.
You want to roll at the same time, Alex?
Let's do it.
All right, ready?
Guys.
Woo!
This is so much fun. You're killing
It's good. It's good. It's real good.
Cal can eat my goddamn heart out. I got 20 damage to everyone.
You know what's so funny?
25 damage.
Like, a lot of people who develop these
20
bad guy hideouts are like, their underground layer has 10,000 tunnels. When it really would be like, there's like 3 ways up. Like it's not like no one would have like a labyrinth underneath. What were your hits?
Weirdos might.
25
Shield
to
Array
hit.
might.
Magic missile automatically hits. So Clayton's,
yes.
Clayton's
Timber, what was your hit?
It's 25, and that's 10 damage to the guy. that's-
Clayton, so there's the three of them heading towards you. How do you want to disperse your magic missiles?
I'm doing one magic missile per person.
Okay.
Well, you might not want to on the first guy, because the first guy's might fall.
First guy's injured. The first guy's injured.
Yeah.
I think I just did it to all
It's
three.
20
Like
damage.
1, 2, 3. It's 20 damage.
Cal was like, "Hey, I know how much damage they took."
So
'Cause he's
yeah,
a
it's
fighter.
just black ooze shoots from my hands, and then it shapes into the face of a fiendish bat's jaws, and just completely annihilates these three jerks.
All right, how much damage do you deal per person?
20 per
20
person.
per. He said it 7
20 per.
times.
Necrotic damage.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Wait, what? 20 damage per person? That's not how magic missile works. It's per missile.
Yeah, but I have alchemical casting, which allows me to add 2d10 to my spell attacks.
And this is where it gets nerfed.
So I rolled 2 8s and a 3
Look
plus
at that
1.
face. Look at that face.
This is where it gets nerfed.
They're dead! All of them are dead!
Everything.
Jesus.
Give us OP feats. We're gonna use them.
It's time for me to increase the resilience of my fucking mobs.
No,
Anyway.
just nerf that one thing.
No, nerf
Just
the one thing.
nerf the one thing. Don't
Yeah.
make us all suffer.
Yeah, Wizwick,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to talk about the reason Wizards of the Coast deleted this subclass. Anyway, your fucking bolts of fucking ooze hit
Everybody has magic resistance
all
now.
three of them as they all as they all just sort of like scream in absolute utter horror as you all enter into this space and see these disintegrating skeletons. As it's truly horrific. I'm not going to let you deal this much damage without it being truly horrifying to witness.
I wouldn't want
to
it
see if
any
you
other
lose any
way.
sanity.
Wizwick's like, oh boy. But it's like Mars attacks the way their fucking bodies melt into. But no, these three absolutely are obliterated by that. Fucking wiping this room out. It's empty. As you watch as your companions shortly follow you into this room, Huron with Scarlet on his back, Cal stumbles into the room, grasping at the side of the wall, just sort of like, what the fuck are we doing, essentially? As you're all in this space together now, time has reconstituted to you all being together. What would you like to
I'm
do?
rear guard because I'm literally last, so I'll just turn around.
We got to go.
Walk
There's-
back.
Cal, get the
There's-
chest!
What?
There's a chest in the other room. Go grab it.
Do we have the time or my sword arm needs to be fine, okay.
All I'll say is, Cal, you do hear some commotion above. You don't know exactly the nature of it, but they're not just letting it fall through the ground, and that's it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I pick up the chest.
All right, so you head into the next room. There is a chest there, Cal. You can easily pick it up. It takes up an entire hand.
Yeah, that's yeah. Okay.
If Kieran's here, can he toss him the bag of holding to put it in?
Sure, it's going to take you a second, though, I'd say, to put it in. I'm going to say it's going to take, if we're thinking about an action economy, this is taking up a whole turn to put it into the bag of holding.
Wizwick, this better be worth it. I don't think we have time for this. Also, I'm very hurt.
And then Kieran will, using a bonus action, cast it's fucking healing word. We'll do it 3rd level for him.
No, use it on Scarlet. She's like actually can't breathe.
She has 16 hit points and can't walk normally.
I mean, yeah, but like if Kieran's already carrying her,
Yeah.
and Cal is,
Yeah.
needs to be
moving
self-sufficient.
Yeah, it's
Right.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And also, I can just cast
Me
it
later.
again in like 6 seconds.
That's fair. I was just trying
So
to be heroic.
you're casting it on Cal.
Yes, for
Alright.
10 points of
Is that-
healing.
So
Okay.
it into the bag of holding. It's very like Mines of Moria, where you hear the drums in the deep as
We
you
don't.
sit your.
It's, the silence is still up.
Okay, silence is still up, but like that's not where they're coming from. So.
Well, that's what.
So.
No, I cast it in between.
I'll say that's enough, Scarlet, to make sure that you can walk despite your broken leg.
Huron's still carrying her, but just making sure
Okay.
that should something happen.
Totally.
Cool. I didn't see the boat. I climb into it when I see that Scarlet went in there.
So he does that as he moves, getting to the boat, placing Scarlet into it, getting in himself, preparing the oars.
There are 2 oars. It is large enough for all of you to fit in. It's definitely a little cramped, but you could definitely all fit in. As I said earlier, it has a spot for 2 rowers and then enough for cargo. So it's definitely a little cramped. So it's going to move a little slow at first, but you could definitely start moving.
Since I was last in line, I push it off and jump in.
Yep.
Once everyone's in.
All right, give me who's rowing?
I guess Huron is.
Cal could, because I don't have much in the way of ranged, and if we have to do a running fight here, I should. Yeah, it's fine. I'll row.
Okay.
I'll cast haste on Timber for him to defend us as we
Start
are.
grabbing arrows out of the sky.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I mean, it's something.
So you shove off the boat and you kind of like feel it like push off into like this is a narrow canal. So it's like the entire time you're by the boat is a very tense moment. As you can hear, it's not like there's a whole army coming down on you. There's definitely just people you can hear up a hallway coming down. Cal, you surmise that he's probably himself coming down, seeing what you've done. You push it off, and in that very like Last of Us tense way in the water, you like pushed away from the actual exit, and you're kind of like, because it's not like a rushing river, so you're really doing a lot of work as it's just sort of this tense looking up for those who are not rowing as you're and you're reaching about the edge before you enter into the tunnel as you hear people coming into the hallway, and you can see several syndicate members coming up to the edge, and you see a few of them holding crossbow bolts up, some of them pulling arrows up.
Can I cast darkness on us as this is happening?
You absolutely can. As you also see Thatcher coming up to the edge of the wall.
Sorry, I just had a quick question.
This is all happening at once too, so definitely, Wiswick, you can do something.
Right. The haste says that a target's speed is doubled.
Yes.
Does that mean that its rowing speed is doubled?
I would say with the extra action it adds to someone who is hasted, they could extra row. If you can only cast it on one person, though, it is not going to be as effective because it's.
I was gonna say because I was like, if this is
it's gonna be a quick like this. You're just gonna hit the wall. Funny. You're gonna hit the wall, and they're gonna be like, "Light him up."
Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably haste on Timber sounds really good anyway, because just having double speed on his master full speed to start with probably a really strong way for him to defend us. No?
Maybe. It depends where if they pop up anywhere.
So
I mean, I could just put magic missiles.
Just for reference, you all are moving their rowboat into the tunnel that leads out to the river. They've arrived at the edge. They're starting to throw arrows and whatever at you. Curon casts darkness on you. A ball of twilight comes across you as they all shoot for the attack. You watch from within this twilight as an arrow goes out, dealing not enough. Another arrow goes out, doing nothing. Another arrow goes out, doing extra nothing. Another arrow goes out, doing nothing as well. And then I'd say the last thing you see really is Thatcher coming to the edge as you watch as he's pulling together fire out of thin airs as he launches a fireball towards
Counterspell.
The opening.
Oh my god!
Wiswick just bats it away.
Right as this fireball comes together and is launched towards you, and you watch it slowly moving, and Wiswick, you're like, not today. And it watch it as it like is moving towards you, and then suddenly dissipates, and you can see Thatcher, that bleeding mask, coming over as he's just staring off at you as you slowly make your way into this tunnel, escaping the Amber Thistle for now, and escaping Thatcher and his guards. As you make your way towards the riverside in a small boat heading through this tunnel. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Well done, everyone. Holy crap.
Thank you so much for joining, everybody.
Louise, guys, thank you everyone for joining us for this pre-recorded session. We will be watching with you, so take a look at the chat for our comments at this moment. Our allies have rescued Scarlet and escaped narrowly with their lives. Thankfully, Cal was able to descend down below and not damage himself too much. I was curious to see if Scarlet would start damaging that top board to try to help Cal's retreat. So you all did an excellent job escaping from the Amber Thistle. Just now to see where you go from here as you approach the river. The city itself, a danger spot for you. And we will find out exactly what happens next week on Advantage in Paradise. Thank you all for joining us, for sticking out with us through this exciting night of infiltration and battle. We love you all. Have a great night. We'll see you next week for Advantage in
Thanks,
Paradise.
everybody.
Have a good night!